are ranked where they are. Catch a new episode of the Power Rankings podcast every Tuesday on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Celtics coach Ime Udoka will likely be suspended for the upcoming season after a consensual relationship with a female team staffer. Woj says assistant coach Joe Mazzulla will likely become Boston's interim coach.
Without Udoka in that coach's room, with Will Hardy gone to Utah, it's a lot of brain power out of that room in Boston. It's right now that coaching staff is thin just because of the attrition. So a lot of challenges for Joe Mazzulla.
Adrian Wojnarowski, who also reports the Pistons are finalizing a trade that would bring forward Bojan Bogdanović to Detroit. In return, the Utah Jazz would get Kelly Olynyk and Saban Lee. The Yankees open a 4-game series against the Red Sox in New York tonight. ESPN Radio with live coverage of Aaron Judge's at-bats. He's sitting on 60 home runs, one behind Roger Maris's American League record. President's Cup opening day at Quail Hollow. Team USA leads all 5 foursomes matches right now against the international team.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, coming to you live from the Ingles Studio, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And, of course, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Don't forget to click on that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can get into the chat with us and get all the alerts when we go live. And welcome into Thursday football, baby.
Yeah, unlike other shows, we're not going to open with Ime Udoka. No. And you know why? Because we know you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk more about that coming up later on. NBA
be
and
a slightly
Major League Baseball.
Different. It's going to be a slightly different take than the one you've been inundated with all day.
NBA and Major League Baseball could grab headlines if anybody cared. We've got Thursday night football tonight, not only in the pros, but we've got some college games as well that Jeremy's going to be throwing out some bangers.
My West Virginia Mountaineers, baby. Let's go.
Country roads,
take me home. I don't feel good at all.
West Virginia and Virginia Tech tonight at Virginia Tech. Blacksburg in the night games. Is that a tough place to get your stuff together, or what? What do you think?
What?
Being in Blacksburg at night.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the reasons I don't feel good about this.
Primetime game. You know the fans are going to be just absolutely electric. It's
yeah, they'll show up and go, hey, this is a game we can win. Let's do this.
How many quarterbacks do you plan on playing tonight?
14.
West Virginia and Virginia Tech bangers coming up later on in the program, as well as the Thursday night football picks.
With a slightly different flair.
You go ahead. You can go ahead and tell them.
Oh,
we will have a special guest picker for Thursday football.
You know what? College Game Day has a guest picker. We figure 2 sets of bangers with me just losing my mind. That's too many. So we've enlisted the help of a friend.
Indeed. And that friend will be showing up later on in the program as Jeremy gives out the best bets of the day, which, of course, you can always take over to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. We got Jones Angell kicking off the 4 o'clock hour for us, as he does every Thursday during the football and basketball seasons. It'll be Tar Heel time to talk about the big game on national television Saturday afternoon. Notre Dame coming to Chapel Hill. It's not what it doesn't mean.
It doesn't quite have the same flair that it did when we looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year.
Eesh. I mean, still an opportunity for Mac Brown and his Tar Heels to make some sort of a statement here. I mean, you want people to believe that you're for real. You're going to have to take care of a team that we
can't
all
score.
believe you can beat.
Yeah, you're going to have to beat a team that can't score, whose quarterback looks like a high school sophomore.
Plus, of course, with tomorrow being Football Friday, and we, of course, have all the college bangers, but we talk mainly NFL football to get you ready for the weekend. So we're going to talk some college football for the weekend as well. Coming up later on, buy and sell, trade in fantasy football. We have your daily draft at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, the Heisman Watch.
We have neglected the Heisman through the first month of the college season, and there are some names that you need to know.
Okay, all right. So Jeremy and I will be drafting Heisman Trophy winners.
It'll be the first time that the first round is less interesting than the other four.
Yes, and then, of course, the NFL Panic Meter. 2 weeks into the season, how upset are you about some of the teams around the NFL? But, of course, Thursday night football tonight, Steelers and the Broncos. As we mentioned, you got all these other things. Or, excuse me, the Browns. I've been staring at that.
The wrong BRO team.
Yeah, your writing on the board up there is so jumbled together that I've seen it 3 different times and gone, that's not the Broncos. They're not playing the Broncos tonight.
No, they're playing the Browns.
Yeah, they're playing the Browns tonight. The Steelers and the Browns tonight on Thursday Night Football. An AFC North matchup. It's going to be, it may not have the pizzazz that we once thought it might.
I could argue this is the most important victory for 2 1-1 teams that I've seen in a long time.
I would agree.
The loser of this game, it's time to worry. It's time to worry a lot.
I don't know if I agree with you. I mean, for the Steelers, absolutely. If the Steelers lose this game against the Browns, because to me you can just throw it out because they'll play them later in the season when Deshaun comes back,
and that's fine. And look at the rest of the schedule. You lose tonight, season's over. I don't care if you bring in Kenny Pickett. I don't care if you go get Tommy Maddox.
You're not going to be able to
I don't care what happens. You are in trouble.
Yeah, this is one of the games that they have to be able to compile enough wins to make it a winning season.
This is one you have to have for this not to be the worst season under Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get this one, it can certainly accelerate quickly. I also think we have to be on Kenny Pickett watch. If Mitch Trubisky comes out in the first 4 series and just can't do anything, I struggle to believe that you don't chuck Pickett out there. I mean, there's probably never going to be a better opportunity. You're playing a Cleveland Browns team without Jadeveon Clowney. Yes, they have Myles Garrett, but that's the only person they have that can rush the passer. I just watched them do it against my team. With a line that's been a little suspect. They were never close. Myles Garrett did his thing. Nobody else could.
But that's also been the problem. Like, is it too soon to pull the Kenny Pickett card?
Not to me.
Because your offensive line is not good.
I don't care.
Like, Pittsburgh does not have a good offensive line. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. A part of me would just be kind of worried about throwing out Kenny Pickett now before the offensive line has maybe give them a little more chance to gel before I throw out.
They're not going to gel.
My franchise.
They're not good.
My franchise quarterback out there behind that line.
To me, that has always been an overstated thing. If this kid can play, you can game plan it to where that offensive line is mitigated. With Mitch Trubisky, you need everything to go right. Everything to go right. And I don't feel that way with Pickett.
Right.
And maybe it's just that's the door I haven't been behind. I know what you're getting out of Trubisky, and I was wrong. I was wrong that his ability to run would open up lanes for Najee Harris, who's averaging 2.9 yards a carry. And I need you to think about he is 2 yards by himself. If he put the football in front of his face, got to the line, and fell down, he gained 2.0 that way.
Right.
And I don't think either of these teams are terrible, but the loser is behind an 8 ball that's going to be hard to get out from behind.
Well, we've already talked about the Browns, and after Deshaun comes back and all of that, they'll still have a chance to win a lot of games at the end of the season. I don't know that you're going to have a chance to win a lot of games moving forward if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, if we do pull the trigger on Kenny Pickett, part of me would say I don't like your chances of having that kind of a season.
I can't remember who I heard. It was somebody on Get Up this morning that said if they pull Trubisky, they should go to Mason Rudolph.
Oh, stop.
You know that meme of the guy that's wearing the red patterned shirt and he opens the Christmas present and it's the same red patterned shirt?
Yeah.
That was the only thing I could think of. Why in the world would you do that? That is 6 one way, half a dozen the other.
Mm-hmm.
You can incite the fan base. If Kenny Pickett, let me just give you a hypothetical here. Come out tonight, the over-under in this game is 38, so nobody is lighting this up regardless.
Under.
And that's one of the picks later. I can't say which side I'm on, but
Right. I'm just throwing out my pick.
The over-under is 38. So this is basically Vegas is telling you first 1 to 20 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not going to be up and down the field. You're probably not going to get behind early, but you go 4 series, maybe a couple first downs, the offense looks completely listless. What is Twitter going to look like? Steeler fans, why are we not putting in Kenny Pickett? What is happening? Even if you lose, if Pickett comes out and looks like a competent NFL quarterback, can get the ball to George Pickens, get the ball to Chase Claypool, get the ball to Deontay Johnson. It's very damning that you've had all 3 of your receivers either go to Twitter or the media and say something about the game plan and how they're being used and where you're at. These are ways that seasons can unravel in no time. I think the receiver room is much more over Mitch Trubisky than we are in the media.
Okay.
And that's how things can precipitate badly, where you start seeing lack of effort. You start getting just housed. That's the only way they get housed tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the ball over, put Cleveland in advantageous positions, and then they're allowed to just bleed you out with Nick Chubb. You keep this competitive, there's no path that they destroy you.
Right.
And then you bring in Pickett, and now the fan base has something to go, ooh, that's new. New is always better in the mind of a fan.
And the worst thing that could have happened for Mitchell Trubisky is not performing well against a team that just made Joe Falco look relevant. I mean,
let's not denigrate.
Come on.
Could have been AFC Player of the Week, Joe Falco.
As well as I do, as everybody else does out there. Look, he's no longer that guy.
Hey, 3rd in the NFL in passing yards. Just throwing out
Again. I don't care. I don't care what kind of weird analytics you want to throw out. There's no reason that Joe Falco should be having, over 300-yard games anymore.
He a vet.
And he just did that against the Cleveland Browns. So if Mitchell Trubisky comes out tonight and throws for 218 yards and the offense still can't score, that's going to pile up on Mitchell. Absolutely.
And this is a national TV game.
Yes.
The first 2 games the Steelers played were as non-nationally talked about as any 2 games you will ever see. Patriots-Steelers was unwatchable. I had a vision of the people in the press box just doing tequila shots in the second quarter going, I've got to do something to spice this up because this is eye broccoli. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get that here. This is Thursday Night Football. Amazon's already put out the numbers. It's as many people as you think.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the press release on Amazon?
I did not.
Was the most added Prime users of any day in the history of Amazon.
That doesn't shock me at all.
No Black Friday, no Cyber Monday, no Prime Week. The first game of Thursday Night Football.
Of course it did, because what did you do? You took every NFL fan who has been, I'm thinking of like my father, people like my father here, who doesn't trust the internet, and I don't give my bank account information over the interwebs because somebody could steal it and sell it on the dark web. Like, he actually thinks that he's going to be targeted in some shape, form, or fashion. So you've taken all of those NFL fans who have to have their Thursday Night Football. I mean, how ticked off would you be if you were one of these guys and you found out the only way you can do it is to get an Amazon account? Well, damn it, I have avoided this for the last 5 years or however long.
And you know what you did? You turned on your TV box and you went, oh, I have to have an Amazon subscription? All right, let me get my credit card. I'll be back.
Yeah, what's that cost me? $5 a month?
Hey, Ma, can you put in the credit card number with the TV remote? It's going to take me forever.
Yeah, is that what it is? Is it $5 a month? $10 a month? Whatever
Amazon
it is.
Prime,
yeah.
I think it works out to be like $12.99 or something like that.
$12.99 a month.
With HWA, Amazon Prime this is a non-negotiable expense. This is like food, water, power, Amazon Prime.
Right, but that's how we are now. That's how we are as a sports community, where we have to have our football. And if we do the math, I mean, that's $3 a game. I'm getting 4 games a month on Thursday nights, and I got to pay $12.99 to get it. Well, I guess.
Go get the credit card. It's fine.
This is how Jeff Bezos gets everybody in the world to be a member of his service, because the ones who weren't sold by watching, Sneaky Pete or whatever stupid Amazon.
Sneaky Pete?
Yeah. That was that Giovanni Ribisi Amazon Originals show that was on.
I don't even know who that. You could have just made that person up. And I know who Giovanni Carmazzi is. I have no idea who that other person is.
He's an actor. It was the first one that came to my mind because that's like the only Amazon Originals thing I've ever watched. That show, the lawyer show with Billy Bob Thornton that you watched. What was the name of that one?
That was
the first one that came to my mind, but I couldn't remember the name of the show.
I don't remember the name of the show, and I
it.
watched
You're not interested in the programming that Amazon Prime has until they force the football fans to get on board. And the football fans looked at it and went, yeah, okay.
All right.
We're good. We're good. So Thursday night football tonight, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns.
I knew that sounded. Slippery Pete's who helped George move the Frogger machine in Seinfeld. I knew that sounded familiar.
Not Slippery Pete, Sneaky Pete.
Yeah, I'm going with Slippery Pete. That's a show I'd watch. Slippery
Seinfeld?
Pete, the guy from Seinfeld. I want the backstory on that guy.
The spinoff. Let's get the spinoff working.
And that's a perfect tie-in to a segment later in the show, Buy, Sell, Trade, brought to you by our friends at Fred Anderson Nissan. It's like Festivus. I got a lot of problems with you people, and I'm going to voice them later in this here program.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
If you're anything like me, you're ready to say goodbye budget stress and hello fall style. That's why I went to Kohl's, where I not only got an extra 15% off, I also got styles from Sonoma Goods for Life for under $9, clothes for my husband from Apartment 9 at just over $10, and boots for less than $43. Or you can save more with a Kohl's card. So if you want more style and more savings, you know where to go. Select styles, 15% offer in September 25th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Love and Light Wellness Spa, how can I help you today?
Hi there. I'd like to make an appointment for next week.
Excellent. Does Tuesday 9 a.m. work?
Ooh, mornings are when I go to Taco Bell to get my bacon breakfast quesadilla.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't like missing out on those fluffy eggs and crispy bacon covered in melty cheeses.
Oh, I understand. Let's see what I have in the afternoon.
Namaste.
Try the Bacon Breakfast Quesadilla, only at Taco Bell. At limited participating U.S. Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
The Sportsocracy.
Who are we going to cheer for on Sundays now?
Well, I mean, Steelers and Browns fans, they'll have nobody to cheer on or cheer for coming up on Sunday because they're locking it up on Thursday Night Football tonight. And the question is, how do the defenses line up? As I mentioned, Joe Falco threw for over 300 yards again last week.
Well, and that's one of the few things that you may be able to walk away from this game and go, uh-oh. I will tell you, I watched every snap of the Browns last week because, well, they played my Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And the defense was bad. And I don't know that anything has shocked me more of how just weirdly listless this team looks.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the offense was going to be somewhat disjointed. It was going to be very run-dependent. Jacoby Brissett is just Baker Mayfield playing full Scooby-Doo. It's actually the same guy, just a different name on the back of the jersey. They're the same player. But the defense has been bad. And I don't really care if it's Mitch Trubisky. I don't care if it's Kenny Pickett. If one of these quarterbacks looks good against you, it's going to get loud on Stefanski in a hurry.
I mean, I would tend to agree with that, but I really don't know that Trubisky can do it, can make them look bad.
And I don't think he can either after what I've seen through 2 weeks, but he still found a way to beat the Bengals.
He did.
Wasn't great, but he found a way to do it.
But the Cowboys also beat the Bengals.
They didn't mean to. They didn't mean to.
They didn't mean to. Well, maybe the Steelers didn't mean to.
And that's fine.
Right. I'm just.
But by the time you've done this 3 times, you look around and go, all right, Baker Mayfield was able to move the ball on us.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't great, but it was enough to.
But were we
scared? We needed a 58-yard field goal to beat Carolina, who may be the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, but were we scared of Baker beating us? The focus in that game would have been shutting down Christian McCaffrey.
But it doesn't matter. It's what happened. What happened is you needed a 58-yard field goal to not be 0-2 when you played the 31st best schedule in the NFL.
Oh, no doubt.
Your secondary has been dog water. All of them. There is nobody that is immune from this, Denzel Ward included.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard all the talk of, well, that was actually just a perfect setup play by the Jets. I don't care why it happened. I care that you let he's a good receiver, in Corey Davis, just get completely behind your secondary. If you do that tonight, Mitch Trubisky can make that throw.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does make that throw, and you manage to lose this game, it is going to get really loud.
Right. Here's a stat for you. Cleveland's defense has given up 7.6 yards per passing attempt so far this season. Now, keep in mind, that's 24th in the league. Meanwhile, they have played the 32nd and 31st worst quarterbacks in the league. They've played, I mean, come on. I get what the statistics say. Joe Falco is not one of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now, but he is. And you've let Baker Mayfield and Joe Falco do that to you.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
It is a concern.
And that's what would alarm me if I was a Browns fan. What do you think Justin Herbert's going to do to you?
Mm-hmm.
You play them in 2 weeks.
Eviscerated.
What do you think Lamar Jackson's going to do to you? Play them in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Josh Allen, Tom Brady. Those are the quarterbacks not named Mac Jones and Marcus Mariota that you play until Deshaun Watson comes back. What I saw Sunday, miracle finish notwithstanding, this team could be 3-8 when Deshaun Watson comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the point? It's one thing to hold out hope for a player that's going to come back that will change the fortunes of your franchise. He doesn't play corner. He doesn't play safety. He's not going to teach Grant Delpit how to fixate his eyes on the field instead of one thing.
Mm-hmm. And I would be more worried about that if I were facing A team whose offense I believed in.
That's the point.
I know I can focus on the run
I'm
game.
not talking about what you're thinking going in. I'm talking about what we're going to be talking about Monday or tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Trubisky comes out here, has 250 yards, and the Steelers win. The narrative is not going to be, we were wrong about the Steelers. The narrative is going to be, what in the world happened to the Browns defense?
Absolutely. Agreed.
And I've been asked this a bunch of times. Should I play the Browns defense tonight in fantasy football? I can't tell you this enough times. No. They haven't been good against Baker Mayfield and Joe Flacco. Why do I think they're going to be good against somebody that can actually move?
Right.
Baker and Flacco would lose in a foot race to me. Trubisky's at least mobile, and you don't have Jadeveon Clowney tonight. This sets up in a very weird way to me. And look, maybe I'm being narrative guy. Maybe I'm putting way too much stock in Mike Tomlin. I remember the last time receivers came out against the play call. Do you remember that? Antonio Brown does the little Instagram live thing in the locker room. Mike Tomlin just gets stone-faced and goes, that won't be happening again.
Yeah.
Then what happened? Eviscerated the next team on their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who the team was, but I think they won 34-10. That's what Mike Tomlin does.
Mm-hmm.
That's what good coaches do. And I understand the principle of playing a defense against a bad offense. I understand that. There are plenty of those. You have 9 road dogs this week. It's the most in the NFL in 5 years. I have a weird feeling about this game. I have a weird feeling that when we talk about this tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be looking at this going, I don't understand what I just saw, and I can't pinpoint that this is a weird things happen on Thursday effect.
Mm-hmm. I would think if Mitchell Trubisky has a big night tonight, it would be obviously.
And I mean, a big night for Mitchell Trubisky is an average night for virtually every quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, the top guys, if they threw 300 yards, you'd be like, oh, he could have done more. He could have done more. But it's a monumental achievement for guys like Baker Mayfield and Joe Flacco. It would be the same thing for Mitchell Trubisky. For you to be able to win this game, though, you're going to have to stop the running game. You're going to have to load the box, stop the running game, and not allow Jacoby Brissett to be efficient.
Just say this out loud.
Mm-hmm.
We're walking into a game where 87% of the tickets are on Jacoby Brissett to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
Keep saying that to yourself. It will earwig in your head, and you'll go, what am I doing with my life?
That's where we are now, though. Because it's a Pittsburgh team that you can't believe that they can score points. Can they stop the run? Are they going to be able to keep Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and the rest of that running back room in check?
Allow me to ask you a question. Do we feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers are well coached defensively?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anything for Cleveland that scares you over the top? End of message. Repeat the line.
DPJ season, baby. I keep telling you.
Oh, you're Auden Tate.
Yes.
It is the Tank Spencer Auden Tate.
Donovan Peoples-Jones. He is the need that we need.
When I say an irrelevant receiver, you go, that guy on another team might be good. When Tank says an irrelevant receiver, you go, that guy might be doing my taxes by this time next year.
Quit underselling him. He's gonna
I'm not underselling him. I'm underselling you. There's a difference.
Me.
You put the kiss of death on him.
Uh-huh. Just like I put the kiss of death on, I don't know, Amon St. Brown, Justin
Amon, you can't take credit for Amon St. Brown.
I was right on those guys.
Amon St. Brown was the definition of Jeremy's flying around the building in an Amon St. Brown jersey. I'm just going to agree with him. Just because you agreed with it, that was still this guy.
It was still this guy. Okay,
by the way, just
then
since you
get Justin Jefferson,
that's you can have Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Okay. Did you hear the story about Amon St. Brown? Just before we go into the break, I have to tell you this.
No, what happened?
So De'Ami Brown was one of the 16 receivers that went ahead of him in the NFL draft.
All right.
He told a reporter, "I kept looking for De'Ami Brown. For some reason, couldn't find him on the field.
Oh.
Don't know why." And I went,
I love that kid.
Favorite player ever. I now just want to be best friends with Amon St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And De'Ami went to Twitter and said, I can't hate on that because you're not wrong.
I love it.
I love a monitor.
And you know what? There's another player that wears that light bluish kind of color that I think just became one of my favorites of all time yesterday as well. That story coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The official start to fall, and how about temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler than average tonight here in the valley? Some of the coolest numbers we've posted so far this season. And talking about some mid-40s here in the valley, even some low 40s with elevation. Cold front right in sync here with the start of fall, taking us from summer-like readings last couple of days to a true taste of fall here into Friday. Sunshine Friday, high 73, low 50. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
Haywood Community College offers over 30 programs of study to obtain your associate's degree or specialized certification. They can help you find the perfect program to pursue your educational journey while staying local, offering small class sizes with flexible classroom delivery options and transferable degrees and credits to numerous North Carolina universities. There's no telling where HCC could lead you. Save time and save money by staying local. Visit haywood.edu for more information and to begin the registration process.
Better sleep gives you the energy you need to spend more time doing the things you love. Your sleep equipment helps you manage your sleep disorder and live a more active life, but it only works if you use it. Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning, and SoClean is a helpful complement to your daily routine. Join over 2 million SoClean customers enjoying peace of mind. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Find out more at SoClean.com. Always follow the manufacturer's instruction. Free payment required for risk-free trial. For contraindications and details, visit SoClean.com.
So the Ingles 2-Day Sale is this Friday and Saturday. Huge savings throughout the store. And when all the products on the shelves heard we were having auditions to be in the sale, everybody wanted in. Come see for yourself. The Ingles 2-Day Sale this Friday and Saturday.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Man, I do love those players in blue. It doesn't really matter what shade of blue you wear. Justin Herbert, love the powder blues for the San Diego Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, whatever the hell their name is. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit Lions. And then there's my new quarterback, Drake May. This kid he's stacking them up. He's stacking up the brownie points here. Breaking records in every start that he has with the North Carolina Tar Heels. 3 games in, getting ready to take down Notre Dame. And in his weekly media availability this week, he was asked why he chose Carolina. That if Sam Howell's success in 2019 caused him to flip his commitment, because he was going to go to Alabama, and decided to come to North Carolina instead. And he said, yeah, 100%. I didn't want to miss out on my home state. He says, then the quote of the century, whether you want to admit it or not, growing up in North Carolina, you're going to be a Carolina fan. Some people may say state, but really, people who go to state just can't get into Carolina. Oh, I love it so much.
And then he walked that back aggressively.
Well, I mean, because Mac Brown is, he is the ultimate professional. He is we're not going to do that. We're not going to throw out let the fans do that. Let the fans from Cal College come in and, talk about the wine and cheese crowd from Carolina. That's our thing. But he doesn't want his players to be wrapped up in that. He wants you to be more professional. He doesn't want you to give bullet board material, because now that's going to be everything that the state fans are going to be talking about coming up that week when we play at Thanksgiving. You don't want to give them the ammunition. Mac Brown forced the apology of Drake May on Twitter. He had to come out and say, I said something I shouldn't have. And then, of course, what does that do? Every time you see somebody apologize for something they said on social media, if you didn't see it, what are you going to do?
Search it out.
Go search it out. Go find out what was said. In a lot of ways, making athletes apologize for the stupid things they say on social media brings more attention to the stupid thing that they said on social media.
Oh, your story is about somebody saying something that they shouldn't have.
And that is your statement. That's not my statement, because he 100% should have said it, and he is now in the Carolina Hall of Fame. Drake May, #1 all time.
At NC State fans, you can find him at Sports Tank ESPN. An unnamed student of a school in the Power 5 was arrested for something she said about a game between two schools. What she said, and it was on the social media platform Yik Yak, which I have never heard of. I don't know what it is, and I don't care. I'm social media'd out. She said she was going to detonate the nuclear reactor that is located on campus, causing a mass destruction if her team lost on Saturday.
Well,
now,
that's a bit of a
it's going a little it's going way too hard.
It's a stretch, yeah.
And now, thankfully, her team that she is a student at, they won 35-7. Now, as I tell you that story, you're thinking this is a school in the SEC, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that's where you would immediately think.
100%.
And that's what I thought.
This is an Auburn fan.
Oh, that's what I thought. And then I went, wait a minute. What SEC school are they putting a nuclear reactor on? Vanderbilt's the only one I got. I don't think you're trusting that at Alabama. She went to Utah. They were playing San Diego State. And she threatened nuclear fallout if they lost.
Wow. Why is it always Utah?
I don't know.
Utah?
I have no idea. The scariest part of this is apparently she has knowledge of the reactor and had a class in that building.
Not good. See, that sounds like crimes. That sounds like
100%
planning
that's crimes.
That's researching crimes. You might as well have just Googled it. Like, oh, somebody made a threat, and we went into their search history, and this is how to blow up nuclear reactor.
I am also shocked that there is anybody that is that beholden to Pac-12 football.
Don't do this. Don't do that.
You could switch to 7-on-7, and nobody west of the Mississippi would have a clue.
Wow.
Just calm down, okay? A, it's football. It's meant to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
B, maybe don't make terroristic threats about Pac-12 football, or any football for that matter,
right?
But especially Pac-12 football.
Oh, wow. Wasn't expecting that. In the NFL, there are some teams that just have not had a good start to the season. And it doesn't look good after 2 games, regardless of what your record may say. So it's time to talk a little NFL panic meter.
And now this is panic meter for teams that we actually had an expectation for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because looking at you can't look at the Carolina Panthers and go, oh, we're 0-2. It's time to hit the panic button. It was time to hit the panic button 2 years ago.
The day you traded for Baker Mayfield, you should have thrown the panic button into the ocean.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
Well, I'm not going to need that anymore.
No more. The only button you need is the Staples Easy button.
Fire Matt Rule.
We need to figure out how to fix this problem immediately. No, these are for this is for teams that we had hopes for. My panic meter on a scale of 1 to 10.
1 is how much I'm worried about my liver.
Okay, so it's like the DEFCON scale.
Nope.
Like number 1 is the highest.
No. As evidenced by the way I live my life, I have already tapped out on my 60s.
Okay,
All
so
right?
you threw the panic butter.
Correct.
Panic
I went
meter
Baker
away.
Mayfield, throw it away. I do what I want. All right. I know the effects. I do what I want.
I don't want your life.
10 is how much Beyond Meats should be worried about their stock price after their COO bit somebody's schnoz.
Okay. All right. So my panic meter is highest right now for the Denver Broncos. Am I in the ballpark or am I overreacting?
You're not overreacting.
Okay.
There are times, and I've always said this with gambling, all right, as the sports bettor of the show, there are times 5 minutes into a game, you're heavily invested on one side, and you figure out, I'm on the wrong side of this. I'm on the wrong side of this. There's nothing I can do. The line has already moved. There's no saving myself from the mistake I have already made. I kind of feel that way about Nathaniel Hackett.
Okay.
I don't think you're a head coach. I think the fact that you have one of the smartest quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the best late-game quarterbacks in NFL history, and the fact you have looked this bad, just breaking the huddle and calling a play is over the moon difficult for you. And the scary part is, I don't think you've seen the worst of it. One of my favorite picks of the week, San Francisco 49ers going to Denver Sunday Night Football. Primetime, what do I always lean on? 3 factors. Who's at home? Who has the best coach? Who has the best quarterback? Denver has 2 of those 3, and I still think you get smoked.
Okay.
And it could be damning. I mean, the fact that you cannot do the most basic tenet of professional football, relay the play call, get it called, line up, and go.
But if we're Denver, do you kind of just say we've had bad luck so far?
It's not bad luck.
All on coaching.
That's not bad luck.
Oh, I know
that's bad preparation.
I know the coaching mistakes and stuff aren't, but I'm talking about not being able to finish drives, fumbling twice inside the goal line, or inside the 1 yard line.
It's weird
in those 2 games.
It's weird. Good teams never do that. It's shocking. I never see the Kansas City Chiefs fumble inside the 1 yard line. I never see that. Who does that? Poorly coached teams. That's where that happens.
True.
And so for me, I'm looking at Denver, and I'm going to level with you. If it wasn't for the fact that Bradley Chubb and Randy Gregory have been exponentially better than I thought they would be, you could be 0-2 having played the Seahawks and the Texans, and one of them was in your building.
Right.
My on the panic meter, I'm going to say Denver's an 8.5 for me.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure you can correct your biggest problem.
They have the 7th best offense as far as yards compiled goes.
What do I often say about yards?
Oh, I
that is the most meaningless stat.
But my point here is they have the most attempts inside the 10 and the 5 yard lines of any team this year in the NFL, and have not been able to punch it in for 6.
Nope.
Does that come back to the mean as this team gets more comfortable, as Nathaniel Hackett gets some of the new washed off of him as a head coach in the NFL? I think they will figure it out at some point. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm not saying you're over the moon on that. My panic meter is, if I were a Denver Broncos fan, would be 9.
And that's your highest one of any team in the NFL.
It's the highest one of, maybe. Because I have a little bit more faith, and I don't know why. I've seen nothing through the first 2 games of the season that leads me to believe this is going to happen. But the Indianapolis Colts are going to be able to find something.
That's mine. Mine's a 14 for them.
A 14 on a scale of 1
Scale
to 10.
of 1 to 10, it's a 47.5. Because I don't know how you're going to fix it. I have seen nothing. A, I have never believed in Frank Reich. B, I just look around and go, what exactly are you supposed to lean on?
You're supposed to be leaning on the running game. You're
and that's
supposed
the
to be
thing.
leaning on Jonathan Taylor.
One of the big reasons, and this is that 3-dimensional chess thing I do that you talk about, one of the things that I've always said about teams that are very run-heavy, what happens to your line and your running backs as the season progresses? They wear down, and they're less effective. So you're expecting a bounce back from your 4 offensive linemen not named Quentin Nelson and Jonathan Taylor. His has been from a lack of touches. I get it. But you're expecting a bounce back in that as the season progresses, as they wear down. That doesn't make any sense. Matt Ryan looks like he should have retired 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of Michael Pittman, you do not have a player on the outside that scares anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis would have been the highest for me. They are a full 10.
All of the worst things that you expect that we brought up just in passing. What about this? Have all come to fruition so far for the Indianapolis Colts. And look, I get that it could be worse. You could be 0-2 rather than being 0-1-1. But you better get on the stick to figure something out.
We have breaking news about a team that we have to talk about on the Panic Meter.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is from Josina Anderson. Text from free agent defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul. I am joining the Baltimore Ravens as of today.
Nice. There's your pass rusher.
Yep. And my already low number on Baltimore just went to exactly 0.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you needed. You needed a vet guy that can rotate with Houston, rotate with Odafe Owa, and rotate with David Ojabo when he comes back.
That's a good signing.
I mean, if through 2 weeks you have the worst pass defense in the NFL, do I think that's going to continue? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. No, I don't. And I think that's a very Baltimore Raven type move. Hey, we have a problem. Let's go fix that.
Yep.
As opposed to just trying to put duct tape on it, let's go actually address it.
Mm-hmm. Good for them.
Feel like your Tampa Bay Buccaneers should have done that, but what do I know?
Hey.
Hashtag Todd Bowles.
Couldn't do it. You couldn't pay up $5 million to get
I have a funny
Jordan
feeling
Whitehead
this is.
back.
I have a feeling this is not $5 million.
Oh, you think it's far more than that?
I think it's far less than that.
Oh, far less than that. And that's the thing that will tick me off.
Oh, I could easily see this being vet minimum.
Right. That's the thing that would tick me off more.
With incentives. But that's a good move by Baltimore. That's a franchise that I just trust. I mean, Baltimore and Pittsburgh are in the same boat. They have problems.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe in the coaching staff and the front office, they'll fix it. Difference is I think there's markedly more talent with the Baltimore Ravens than there is with the Steelers. I'm not worried about Baltimore. Oh, you struggled against Joe Flacco. No, you gave up a lot of yards. You eviscerated Joe Flacco. I watched every second of it, and I cursed Joe Flacco's name for 60 solid minutes.
And never was that game in doubt.
No. And then you had a bad quarter against Miami. If we're being really honest, you have physically imposed your will in 7 of the 8 quarters you have played.
Mm-hmm.
You had one real bad one. Okay, don't care.
Moving along.
I did not think you were the AFC favorite anyway, but I had you in the top handful, 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly where I still have you.
So the Indianapolis Colts are a full 10. We got Denver somewhere between a 9 and an 8.5. Who else are we worried about? Who's ready to hit that panic button 2 weeks into the NFL season? We'll be back right here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle, and the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought, but the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Western North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by Ingles is Sunday evening, September 25th at the Grove Park Inn. The Hall of Fame inductees are former Owen coach Kenny Ford, WNBA and NC State basketball star Rhonda Mapp, Mike Silver from McDowell High School girls basketball, former Major League pitcher Darren Holmes, Reynolds and Clemson basketball standout Tara Sanook, racing legends Bob and Robert Presley, and women's basketball player, coach, and official Judy Stroud. And the Lifetime Achievement Award will be going to WLOS's Stan Pam Phillips. Get tickets online now at WNCSportsAwards.org.
Asheville Pizza and Brewing is so happy to announce the return of the $3 movie theater. We've added a second screen to our Merriman Avenue location. Soon you'll be able to catch family favorites, cult classics, and second-run films for only $3, just like the good old days. Visit the main screen for current movies and don't forget about trivia night on Wednesdays. Visit AshevilleBrewing.com for info and schedules, or stop by on Merriman Ave. That's AshevilleBrewing.com.
The can't-miss music event of the year is finally here.
Our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Featuring once-in-a-lifetime performances from the biggest superstars.
Live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Tomorrow night and Saturday night, starting at 10 p.m.
Watch on the CW app and CWTV.com. And listen on iHeartRadio.
Capital One is the proud partner of the iHeartRadio Music Festival for the 6th year in a row, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
How high does your team rank on the panic meter? I know Carolina Panther fans are probably sitting here, we're a 10.
You're not applicable.
No, you're not. You're not on the panic meter at all. These are teams that we had expectations for in this 2022 NFL season. The Las Vegas Raiders come to mind, sitting at 0-2. It's not good. And this offensive line is a problem. They're very, very young, but they are, so far, Jeremy's all heralded PFF says they are the 31st worst line in the league.
Hasn't been good.
The New York Giants is the only offensive line that's worse.
Hasn't been good. But I could argue you have been the better team for 6 of the 8 quarters you've played. At worst, it's 5 of the 8.
Yeah. You got to be worried about blowing the 20-point lead to the Arizona Cardinals.
That bothers me, the fact that Chandler Jones and Max Crosby Max Crosby has been good. Chandler Jones has been borderline irrelevant. Mm-hmm. That makes me nervous. But, in terms of the Raiders, I've got them at a 5. I still feel like the offense is good. You're going to figure it out. That's one place that I look at the line and go, okay, give it a minute. Mm-hmm. Let it gel. And I will say this is a very important week. If you go out and lose to the Titans, even though it's in Nashville, that probably goes from a 5 to a 7.5. Mm-hmm. At 0-3, your season's borderline over.
You need to come in and you need to pound the rock with Josh Jacobs. Take advantage of the Tennessee defense that has given up the second most rushing yards in the league so far. And you got to hold on to a lead. You got to figure out how to win. Cincinnati Bengals, obviously a very surprising 0-2, and it hasn't been great. Losing to the Dallas Cowboys is, in my book, that's inexcusable.
It is very inexcusable, especially with Cooper Rush playing quarterback.
And the fact that somebody shared the stat in our chat earlier today that Joe Burrow is now on pace to be sacked 111 times this year.
And here's the thing.
And that's a problem.
It is a problem, but I think it's a fixable problem. Because we have really harped on the offensive line, of which, has it been good? No, it has not. It hasn't. A lot of that comes from the fact you got a guard playing left tackle, but I've beaten that horse to death. Mm-hmm. You got to teach Joe Burrow that not every play is a home run.
Yes.
You got to learn to take a single every once in a while.
Yes.
And I think you can. You did it last year. And I feel like he came into this season feeling like this is where the Super Bowl hangover talk comes from. You come out and feel like you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. We've crossed the threshold. Now I can just come out and throw it around the yard. Improved offensive line. Oh, that's not how this sport works. I do have to not 20 air yards on every pass.
Right.
You got to get a healthy week this week. It's the Jets. It's my team. Trust me. There's nobody that knows the team on this planet better than I do. There is nothing that would surprise me less than Joe Burrow comes out and throws for 4 bills and T. Higgins goes absolutely nanners.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon's not the side of that I'm really looking at.
Really?
Not against this team. The Bengals are a 3 for me. I think your problems are too fixable.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting yourself in bad situations because Joe's been sacked and been hit so many times because he can't just take the check down.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Not applicable.
Not applicable.
I didn't have. It's hard for me to panic on a team that I didn't have any expectations for in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Without Dak Prescott, your season tanked last week.
Mm-hmm. And just wait until you lose to the New York Giants on Monday Night Football.
100%.
Tuesday is going to be fun.
The New England Patriots.
That one's borderline not applicable for me, but I'll say 7.5, and I'm looking at the future.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is you're supposed to be excited about.
I read an article yesterday that I thought was the dumbest take I've ever heard. Oh, this team is set up for the future with Tom Brady 2.0. What is this, week 3 of last year? What have you been seeing in Mac Jones that makes you think this is going to be sustainable for any period of time? I don't even kind of understand that. If I was a New England Patriots fan, I'm borderline jumping off the ledge at this point. And then the New Orleans Saints. Bad Jameis showed up this past week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How worried should you be? Granted, it was without Alvin Kamara.
It was without Alvin Kamara, which is a big deal to me. For me, it's a 5. I mean, over the course of the next 3 weeks, you play the Panthers, the Vikings, and the Seahawks. Are you going to be shocked if this team's 4-1? Because you shouldn't be.
No.
Because there's 2 of them that I don't think you could lose if you tried to, and I don't buy that Minnesota defense in the least.
Mm-hmm. Seeing bad Jameis, though, be as bad as I have ever seen him.
The bad Jameis makes it a 5 for me. Because I thought Dennis Allen would have such a thumbprint on this offense that you wouldn't see that. Seeing it makes me nervous, but not over the moon.
All right, coming up after the Sports Center update, Tar Heel time with Jones Angell. Big game in Chapel Hill this week. Notre Dame coming to town.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The official start to fall, and how about temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler than average tonight here in the valley. Some of the coolest numbers we've posted so far this season, and talking about some mid-40s here in the valley, even some low 40s with elevation. Cold front right in sync here with the start of fall, taking us from summer-like readings last couple of days to a true taste of fall here into Friday. Sunshine Friday, high 73, low 50. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, we see Asheville High for the first time as they host Irwin. This MAC Showdown always features a lot of fireworks, and we'll get it started with Sports Tank Friday at 6 and the Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff Show at 6:30. On AM 1400 and TuscolaRadio.com, Franklin comes into Waynesville to take on the Mountaineers. Cowboy John Roden and the gang get it started at 7 with a pregame and a kick at 7:30. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Wendy's new home-style French toast sticks are so good, some are saying they're better than their mom's French toast. Perfectly crispy on the outside, perfectly fluffy on the inside, perfectly perfect in every way. Try Wendy's new home-style French toast sticks today and see if they're better than your mom's.
On the south side, we got 6 poly panels, and please make sure they're flush.
Kwame is converting everyone on the block to solar power.
Please get a crew to wrap up 202 South Duane.
He needs more certified installers before the sun sets on his business boom.
Let's pick up the pace. We got a long day.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Doug Brown, stunning news for the Celtics just before the start of training camp. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports head coach Ime Udoka may be suspended by the team for the entire season after having a consensual relationship with a female team staff member. It's expected that assistant Joe Mazzulla would become interim coach. Nets guard Ben Simmons says on the Old Man in the Three podcast he liked his time with the 76ers, but didn't feel totally supported as he struggled with his mental health.
Being in Brooklyn now, it's completely different. Like, this is a different experience for me. And you know, I value just that time I did spend in Philly because, you know, I was able to learn and grow in that city. And I got friends for life there. I got my brother lives there. Like, I got family there.
Simmons says he's looking forward to the new season. He should be ready for the start of camp. A 21-year-old female student at the University of Utah was arrested after allegedly threatening to detonate a nuclear reactor on campus if the Utes football team had lost to San Diego State last weekend.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You can hear the Sportsocracy everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, absolutely free. You can also listen to our next guest on the iHeartRadio app. On the Carolina Insider podcast is the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, Jones Angell, and the Tar Heels get a big date coming up on Saturday with Notre Dame. And while you would normally be really terrified of that, it looks like there may be some holes for that Notre Dame team this week. But I know how Mac Brown is. He's not going to let that get into the ears of his players as they prepare to take on a national power on national television in that 3:30 slate.
Tank, yeah, you're right, and I think it would be unwise to assume that Notre Dame doesn't have quality players. I mean, the Irish 1-2 right now through 3 games, and so that's obviously not usual territory for them. But I also think, yeah, this is a good football team. They lost, one of their losses was at Ohio State. A lot of teams are going to lose there. That was a competitive game, one that Notre Dame led in the third quarter, in fact, late in the third quarter of that one. And then for them, kind of like how Carolina's season to this point has been defined by that fourth quarter and app, even though Carolina won that game. Yeah, I think Notre Dame's season to this point has been defined by that second game of the year, which was Marshall, that they lost and came out a little flat. And, you know, after that Ohio State game in week 1, you know, just didn't have the same energy or execution level, and it showed. And Marshall played well and made some big plays late, had a couple of key turnovers that they gained, which helped them win that contest. And perhaps the bigger story coming out of that game for Notre Dame was that they lost their quarterback. You know, Tyler Buckner, their starter, who was really mobile, was really effective with his legs, unfortunately was injured for a long period of time. It might be the whole season. They're a little unclear, but it will certainly, he won't be back for the game coming up on Saturday in Chapel Hill. So that was a difficult game for a lot of reasons. Bounce back last week where Notre Dame, quite honestly, didn't look very good in the first half against Cal, but then played very, very well. Probably their best football of the season in the second half, and were able to beat the Bears by a touchdown. So Notre Dame is not, you know, nationally ranked and 10-0 or something coming into this game, But I do think, Tank, certainly it's a team that is good enough to win and is got a lot of good players. And so Carolina will need to play at a very high level because this is by far, not even close, the best team. Record doesn't matter. It's the best team Carolina's played to this point this year, so the Tar Heels are going to have to play their best as well.
And your biggest concern about this, or, a Tar Heels fan biggest concern about this team so far has been the defense. Well, it's nice to look at a team struggling offensively to find any kind of identity outside of obviously their future first-round NFL draft pick tight end Michael Mayer. They've been struggling to get anything going on offense. So you got to kind of feel good about that. And the question becomes, can Drew Pine figure out a way to take advantage of the holes in the Tar Heel defense, and will we be able to stop Michael Mayer?
Yeah, and I think that really actually starts with Notre Dame's run game because, in fact, last season when Carolina went to South Bend, Notre Dame did not have terrific stats as far as their rushing ability, but they ran for more than 200 yards in that game. Now, they had one big run, a 91-yard run. That's a big part of that, but it still counts, right? So
right.
The run game, to me, is the whole key to this for Notre Dame's offense and Carolina's defense, because Notre Dame's passing attack isn't one, at least to this point, that hasn't proven that it's going to be, a shotgun snap to Drew Pine, and he's able to pick you apart with his arm. And, they're not going to throw four wide out there and try to move the ball down the field in that way. But where they can get dangerous offensively is their ability to run, because they have several good backs. And then they're pounding you with the run, they're pounding you with the run, they're pounding you with the run. Then they go play action, and they can either hit, Michael Mayer, that great tight end that you're talking about, or, some skill guys on the outside. When they hit you with that play action, those weapons become much more effective. That's not, a new plan of attack in the game of football, but I do think it is the way that Notre Dame can be best successful with their particular personnel this year. And that's why I do think, Tank, stopping that run and being more competitive at the line of scrimmage for Carolina when the defensive group is out there is going to be really, really important in this game. If Carolina can slow down that run, get Notre Dame into some not positive down and distances for them. So if they can get into 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 7 and things like that, that will really go a long way to Carolina winning this game, because I think those type of downs and distances are hard for this Notre Dame offense right now. That's not to say that they can't get better at it, but that has been difficult for them early in the year. And so, but if you let them get into 3rd and 2 because they were able to effectively gain 4 yards and then gain 4 more on the ground, that's when you start getting into trouble. And so Carolina's ability to stop that run, particularly on early downs, I think is going to be really important.
What have they been pounding home to the defense this week to try to limit the hurt that has been seen at times throughout these games? We've constantly been talking, it feels like a couple of years, talking about the Tar Heels coming out and playing a full 4 quarters.
Yeah, I think it's 2 things. One is kind of what you alluded to, and that's consistency on the defensive side, because there have, that app game, Tank, and that 4th quarter, and it's real and it happened, and so you have to take it into account. But I do think it has skewed things a little bit when you think about this Tar Heel defense. I don't think Carolina's defense, while it has not been as good as Carolina needs or wants it to be, I don't think that 15 minutes is representative of what Carolina's defense is either. And let's hope not, because Carolina would give up more points than ever before if that was the case. And so I think they have been trying to focus on hey, look at the 2nd and the 3rd quarters against App. Hey, look at the 3rd and 4th quarters, really the entire game against Florida A&M, but particularly later in the game. Hey, look at that 4th quarter against Georgia State and the 1st quarter against Georgia State. These were good moments of defense. So why can it happen here but not happen for a full 4 quarters. Now, are you going to shut everybody out? Are you going to force everybody to punt every single possession? No, but you can consistently stop the run better. You can stop allowing explosive plays in the pass game. That kind of stuff can happen. Even if the other team finds some success, you can still play better defensively in total. And so I think the consistency has been a part of it, Tank. And then also the other thing that they've really hammered home defensively has been fundamentals and just very basic things, which Gene Chizik has been talking about ever since he arrived, of positioning, of being in the right place, of filling the correct gap, of not getting your eyes in the wrong place, which gets your body in the wrong place, which then allows a big play. And so I do think that kind of stuff has been really harped on for the Tar Heels. It has been for a while, but particularly in this bye week. And I will be interested to see if you see some more consistent defense, because Gene Chizik feels like his team on the defensive side has taken some steps, and he has talked about that publicly, about how he feels like it has been some really productive couple of weeks here for Carolina, but now you have to go see it on the field.
On Mac Brown Live on Monday night, as you heard right here on ESPN Asheville, you do every Monday night at 7 o'clock with our good friend Jones Angell, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels. And Mac Brown was talking about, I love when he got into talking to the guys about, we do this, 365 days a year. Why is it that on certain days you're asked to get up for 12 days? I mean, be at your best 12 times a year. Why can't we do that? Why can't the consistency be there? Why do we have these lapses? And getting to the root of that, obviously, if every coach could ask that question and get a logical answer, every team would be great. But I mean, that's where we are right now. I loved hearing Mac talk about the process of making sure everybody's locked in and doing their jobs, because there's been a lot of miscommunication, guys out of place, missed tackles, things like that.
Yeah, and no team in the country is going to be at its very best for every single game. It's just not going to happen. You're probably going to have 2 or 3 of those per year where you play to your full potential. But the other games, let's use the number of 12, the other 9 in this instance, just because you aren't playing at your best doesn't also mean that you have to have these very fundamental breakdowns. It doesn't mean that you have to be out of position. It doesn't mean that you have to have poor tackling. Those things may not be as sharp or as crisp or as effective as those couple of weeks where you really are clicking on all cylinders, but you've got to bring the floor up. And I think that's really what Coach Brown is talking about, is not reach your absolute maximum capacity 12 times. Nobody does that. But when your floor is closer to your ceiling, that's when I think you become a pretty darn good football team, because if your floor is still pretty good and the one that you reach, a couple times a year as well, then I think that's a really big positive. So to me, I think that's what Coach Brown is talking about, because things like energy and effort, that can raise your floor, and those things can be there every single time, even if the execution's a little sloppy, or if things aren't quite as crisp, or the timing is a little bit off on the offensive side, or maybe you have 1 extra or 2 extra penalties than you normally would. That kind of stuff's going to happen. But if your energy and your effort can help raise that floor closer to your ceiling, then I think that's when you become a much more consistent football team, which is something the Tar Heels are looking to do.
Absolutely agree. Raise the floor on defense, because as a famous Tar Heel said, we already know that the ceiling is the roof for this offense.
Yeah, and
Drake,
well, in all honesty, to that point, I mean, Carolina's offense, Tank, you look at it, the numbers are gaudy. I mean, Carolina's top 2 in the ACC and top 20 in the nation in total offense, passing offense, rushing offense, scoring offense. including being in the top 5 in total offense and in scoring offense nationally. So, I mean, those are incredibly quality numbers. Will they come down some just with the quality of competition with Notre Dame and then conference play? Yes, but everybody else's numbers are going to come down some too because everybody's going to start playing conference competition. So when you think about that, if you could get your defense to just raise that floor, to use that term again, Carolina doesn't have to be the 85 Bears out there. They just need to provide a little more resistance, get to the quarterback a little more consistently, make things more difficult in the secondary. They just need to take some steps forward, not huge steps, but they need to take some steps forward in those areas. And if they do that and the offense continues to play at the level it has and, get better, continue to grow. Remember, we're talking about young guys out there. That's an exciting thought because if you have that, I think all of a sudden you've got a really, really dangerous football team.
Two words resonating throughout Tar Heel Nation today. I'm back. It was just posted not too long ago by Josh Downs. He is going to be back. He says he's going to be ready to go for the Notre Dame game. And see, that's where I was going. Like, we know what Drake May can do. We've already seen him put up huge numbers through the first 3 weeks of the season. Get Josh Downs back, and with Cody Paysour, I mean, somebody asked the question on Mac Brown Live this week of, will we see them on the field together? You better. I think the offensive coaches are going to have some questions to answer if we don't see Cody Paysour and Josh Downs on the field together at the same time, because the way Paysour has played so far, it looks like your next dynamic duo.
Well, and there's just so much versatility right now with Carolina's offense, and I think they're so deep at the skill positions. The great part is you can mix and match with a lot of different guys in there and get a lot of different players some significant snaps, keep guys relatively fresh, and you don't have a big drop-off in the quality of the production. And so even if Kobe Paysour and Josh Downs aren't out there together for the entire game, you likely will see sometimes they're out there without the other one. Sometimes they are together. But it's also not a bad thing to have Gavin Blackwell out there or J.J. Jones out there or the freshman Andre Greene, who's continued to work his way in, or Antoine Greene as he continues to get healthier and hopefully is available this week. If it's not this week, it's going to be very, very soon. So you have those combinations of those players, not to mention the trio at tight end that's been playing extraordinarily well, not to mention the guys in the backfield that have been playing well as well. So what is making this Carolina offense so good, in addition to Drake May's really mature beyond his years ability on the field, is that you have to guard so many guys. And when you have that kind of versatility and that kind of diversity in how you are able to be successful, if you are smart, if you take care of the football, then you're going to have a good chance to be really, really good. And Tank, you saw that even in the Georgia State game. The Tar Heels turned the ball over 3 times, and they still scored 35 points and still moved up and down the field for the most part during the game. And so you obviously don't want the turnovers, but that should just show you that even with those mistakes, because normally you go on the road, you turn it over 3 times, you're not winning that game. But Carolina was able to do enough, including offensively, to get out of there with a W.
Can Notre Dame stop the Carolina offense? That's also the big question.
Yeah, and up front, they're really good, and they're coming off their best performance. They got to the Cal quarterback 6 times in that game for sacks, had 8 total tackles for loss. You can't have numbers like that if you're Carolina and be successful, because Drake May can't pick you apart if he's on the ground. And so for Carolina, on that side of the ball, to me, Tank, it is, and again, pretty boring football. It's can you run it and can you protect your quarterback? Because if Carolina can do those things, I think it's shown that that offense is so explosive that it can be really, really effective regardless of the opponent.
Kickoff coming up in Chapel Hill at 3:30 on Saturday afternoon. You will hear the game right here on ESPN Asheville with the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, Jones Angell. Jones, best of luck to you in the game as well. Another fine performance on the horizon. I know it in my heart.
Thanks so much, Tank. Yeah, great to talk with you. I do want to mention we will have, just like we did at Georgia State, we're going to have Jeff Saturday in the booth again for this Notre Dame game. He and Brian Simmons will both be co-analysts for this game. Both those guys, of course, terrific players, both at the college and the professional level, and so really looking forward to working with both of them coming up on Saturday. We'll be on there at 2:30 with kickoff a few minutes after 3:30.
Yeah, it does bring another level to the to the broadcast. Glad to have those guys in the booth with you. I know you are. We will talk to you next week, hopefully talking about a big win over the Fighting Irish.
Thanks, Tank. Talk to you soon.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. There are things going on in basketball and in baseball that years ago would have just taken over all of the shows, all of the headlines, everything. For some reason, it's just not hitting home like it normally does. Wonder why. We'll talk about football up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
240 eastbound is slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. 26 westbound slow between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between I-40 and Bavard Road. Again, 26 eastbound slows between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. And 26 eastbound slows east of Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. And Bavard Road southbound is slow between the NC Arboretum, the Blue Ridge Parkway, and Clayton Road. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between Old Airport Road and Fanning Bridge Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lemon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Better sleep gives you the energy you need to spend more time doing the things you love. Your sleep equipment helps you manage your sleep disorder and live a more active life, but it only works if you use it. Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning, and SoClean is a helpful complement to your daily routine. Join over 2 million SoClean customers enjoying peace of mind. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Find out more at SoClean.com. Always follow the manufacturer's instruction. Prepayment required for risk-free trial. For contraindications and details, visit SoClean.com.
Asheville Pizza and Brewing is so happy to announce the return of the $3 movie theater. We've added a second screen to our Merriman Avenue location. Soon you'll be able to catch family favorites, cult classics, and second-run films for only $3, just like the good old days. Visit the main screen for current movies and don't forget about trivia night on Wednesdays. Visit AshevilleBrewing.com for info and schedules, or stop by on Merriman Ave. That's AshevilleBrewing.com.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to hire a professional voice actor and pay him absurd amounts of money to say,
I like this product.
Not sure why that was better. I mean, I'm a professional too, but we didn't pay him to say the business part, so back to me. Save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. Sorry, I know hearing me say it was a bit of a letdown. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for our grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We all love football. And it's quite obvious that we all love football. Today, the news, the Sports Center updates, you've been hearing them at the top of the hour all day long. And what have they been leading with? They've been leading with Ime Udoka or Ime Udoka, who is going to be suspended for looks like the entirety of the next season in the NBA because he had a consensual relationship with someone inside the front office of the Boston Celtics.
And we're not going to spend much time on this, but there's one thing that I specifically want to say. There damn well better be more to this story.
100%.
Because if this is just first of all, he and Nia Long are separated.
Yes.
So you can take out the morality clause. Mm-hmm. First of all, people becoming the morality police drives me insane. Mow your own grass before you worry about other people's.
Well, this just strikes me as the whole, we're still the house that Red built.
And
this is still the Red Auerbach Boston Celtics, and we expect, we expect you to live by a certain code.
And that's all well and good. You be the morality police at your own risk. Maybe talk to your fans before you tell me about morality. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it.
Mm-hmm. It's well documented. We all know what you're talking about.
So you've got that story that mainstream media really seems to think you care about.
Oh, they want to push it down your throat. No.
You don't. I pulled the metrics on it to see if it was something we should talk about on a football on a football Thursday. In large part, the only reason you're seeing people interact with this is because the way the story has been told. Of they're going to suspend him for a year because he had a relationship with somebody that worked in the front office. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Went through it. Nobody cares. You also have the best player in baseball playing for the most popular team in baseball, getting ready to set the legitimate home run record.
The non-roid-aided home run record.
No one cares.
No.
No one cares.
It's falling flat. Think about the home run chase.
And by the way, this is not an opinion. This is going from an analytical.
Yes.
We have the ability to find these things.
Look.
What are you tweeting about? What are you putting on your socials? What web pages are you frequenting?
Look, I'm the baseball guy. I'm interested, but I'm nowhere near as interested as the 98 chase between McGuire and Sosa. Maybe if there was another player that was chasing down the record with Aaron Jones, then maybe we would care a little bit
Judge.
more. Or Aaron Judge.
Yeah, you're so much Aaron Jones.
Football.
You're so in football
right.
that the running back for the Green Bay Packers is not setting the home run record.
He probably would. He would immediately be the best player in baseball. But Aaron Judge is chasing down history here. Like, this is the one that everybody, all the purists, this is the one that they cling to.
Mm-hmm.
Of, Mark McGuire, that was steroids. Barry Bonds, that was steroids. This is the true record. This is the American League record. It's got all the things, all the pomp and circumstance, or should, of all of those other chases. But we don't care because football. Because football.
In the pantheon of searched things, Coastal Carolina and Georgia State is on par with Aaron Judge.
Which is insane.
You have a perfect setup here. One of the most popular teams in the NBA having a salaciously weird story that's going to cost their young coach, one of the best young coaches in the NBA, a season. You have a home run chase, which is the big record, and the Triple Crown from the best player with the most popular team in the league. And you cannot steal headlines from the dog water Pittsburgh Steelers and the dog water Cleveland Browns. If you want to know why we talk about football for 9 months out of the year and then sprinkle it in those other 3, that's why.
Exactly. Not only do you have Aaron Judge, but you got Albert Pujols. Old man Pujols. He's having the best rocking chair tour anybody's ever had. He was not.
Nobody cares.
At the beginning of the season, it wasn't even thought of that he could get to 700 home runs for his career because he wasn't playing enough. And now he's become the greatest pinch hitter in the history of baseball. He's winning games for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he's almost at 700 home runs. And no, it's just crickets.
And before anybody says, well, I care, you're missing the point.
There are some of us.
100%. There are people that care. I'm talking about on a national landscape. When we sit down to do a 3-hour program, we have ways to figure out what you're talking about and what you're interested in. I did a comparison. In April, the beginning of April, there's no football. Free agent signings have not gone away, but they've tempered. You're a month away from the actual draft. 5 times more of you were searching about mock drafts than are talking about Aaron Judge. Right now. I'm comparing football in the offseason to baseball right now in the pennant race, and it's set up better than you could possibly ever hope.
Yeah.
This is what people need to understand. And I'm not calling anybody out by name. I'm not calling any entity out by name. But I've watched this all day long. You can lead with Ime Udoka. You can lead with Aaron Judge. You can sprinkle all these other things in that you want. Rule number 1 when you do what we do is listen to your audience. They've told you everything you need to know. It's a niche sport. They're all niche sports.
All of them. Football is king.
And that's all there is.
Yeah,
that's all there is. You give me a story that actually rates, we'll talk about you. Here's the problem. I don't think you're going to.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. How's your fantasy team doing? Has it been a rough start?
I may have depended on far too many players that are not actually playing or have already gotten hurt.
Yeah. So now comes the time. Buy, sell, or trade. We'll talk some fantasy up next after we get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The official start to fall, and how about temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler than average tonight here in the Valley? Some of the coolest numbers we've posted so far this season, and talking about some mid-40s here in the Valley, even some low 40s with elevation. Cold front right in sync here with the start of fall, taking us from summer-like readings last couple of days to a true taste of fall here into Friday. Sunshine Friday, high 73, low 50. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 eastbound between exit 3 and exit 4A. Accident reported. 240 on the westbound side slow between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slows between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slowing between Brevard Road and Long Shoals Road. Again, 26 eastbound is stop and go between Hendersonville Road to approaching Chimney Rock Road. 40 on the westbound side is slow between Hendersonville Road and Brevard Road. Again, 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and Georges Branch Road. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Brevard Road southbound from the Benton Creek area from the North Carolina Arboretum down to Clayton Road. Traffic is stop and go. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Hendersonville Road southbound is slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Again, Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Old Airport Road and Fanning Bridge Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs, too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes! Loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Yeah, it's time to get weird, and what better place to go to for a weird story than Columbia, South Carolina, as I have often referred to it as the armpit of the South.
It is the hottest place on the planet Earth.
It is hotter than the blue blazes there.
The last time I was in Columbia, South Carolina, I physically felt and smelled my shoes burning on the sidewalk.
Not amongst the highest destination places. If you're looking for a respite, a little vacation, not too many people choosing Columbia, South Carolina as their destination. I mean, the zoo's good. The zoo is the Riverbank Zoo, wonderful little stop off while you're on your way to the beach. That's the only thing Columbia is good for. That and Little Pig's Barbecue.
And the worst traffic you will ever sit through in your life.
Yes.
I hear people complain about 26, and I'm like, tell me you've never been to Columbia without telling me.
Well, when I was a kid, we used to go down to Columbia, and it was a big deal to go to the Columbiana Center. That's their big mall. It was like the biggest mall in the region, or at least, in driving distance of where my family would go. And I just wanted to bring this story up because I think it just further headlines where we're at, not only with malls, but brick and mortar stores in general. Because the other day, sadly enough, a 63-year-old janitor for the Belk store at the Columbiana Center passed away. The weird part is where she passed away. She passed away on the job while she was cleaning the bathrooms, closing up the store. She passed away sometime after 7 a.m. while she was cleaning the bathroom on Thursday. The video cameras in the store saw her go in. They never saw her come out. They found her on Monday. How does that happen? She goes in at 7 a.m. She's got the cart out there and everything, cleaning up the bathroom, passes away. The cart sits there the entire day. She never comes out. No one ever wonders, where is Bessie? I haven't seen Bessie since we clocked in this morning.
I would love to know why Bessie was your go-to there, but
that's her name.
That's her name.
Her name is Bessie.
Oh, that's her name. I thought you made that name up.
No. Her name is Bessie. Bessie Durham, 63 years old. She died at some point cleaning the bathrooms on Thursday.
No, I caught that part.
And they did not find her in the bathroom until Monday. Like, there wasn't a single person not a customer, not a manager, not just an employee who used the bathroom at some point and wondered, why is this cart sitting out here? And where is Bessie? I haven't seen her in a while. None of that. They don't think there's any foul play. They don't think she was on drugs or anything like that. I mean,
you're also assuming something based off what you just said.
Okay.
That there's customers at a Belk.
Well,
because I was today years old when I found out that Belk still existed. I was Wednesday years old when I found out JCPenney still existed.
Look, just because Cam Newton's not doing their commercials anymore doesn't mean they closed.
To be frank, you could tell me every physical brick and mortar store closed. I would probably have very little idea.
And the worst part of the story is that there's nothing special going on at the store. Like, it wasn't like they closed for the weekend to remodel or anything like that. The store had its normal hours for 4 days, and nobody found poor Bessie. They're doing the autopsy and things, but they'd say, no, she just passed away and nobody found her. That's sad.
I am now going to have to say something that I never thought in all of my years I would have to say. This comes from the Food and Drug Administration.
Birds are real.
No, birds are not real. Hashtag birds aren't real. And they feel obligated to issue a warning to the American people. And that that message is that people should not marinate their chicken in NyQuil or other cough medicine.
No.
What? Apparently, there is a social media challenge encouraging people to cook chicken in NyQuil.
Why?
Because people are dumb. I don't have a good answer.
Is this how we get purple chicken? I don't understand.
I don't know. Has Jamarcus Russell got a cooking channel? Because that's the only thing that made any sense to me.
Like, you're trying to get drunk off of the NyQuil in chicken?
So I'm going to read the notes from the release, and I am dumbfounded that people do not know this. Boiling a medication can make it more concentrated and potentially make it stronger. And if you cook chicken in it and you eat it, you could die or become very ill. There are certain things that I didn't think I'd ever have to say because the gene pool of this fair country that we live in would never become so diluted that it had to be said. You want to know why I was never a fan of participation trophies? Because when you give those out, those people go, yes, my opinions and my ideals are valued. And then they grow up and they get TikTok and they go, I'm going to marinate my chicken in NyQuil.
Don't do that. Don't do weird marinades. Just stick to the normal stuff.
I've heard that TikTok is used by the Chinese government to corrupt America.
No,
I never believed that.
No, we're doing it all on our own.
I believe there is at least partial truth to both.
Ascendo said in the YouTube comments that he thinks that somebody did find the poor janitor, but they thought she was sleeping. What is she, Rip Van Winkle? For 4 days?
For 4 days.
Like, she's still in there sleeping. Man, she must have had a rough week.
I mean, here's the biggest question. Is it normal for people to sleep in the bathroom of a Belk? I mean, look, I understand that I'm one of those people that I don't sleep particularly well. It's like a finely tuned orchestra for me. Everybody has to be on the same page. The conditions have to be right. But I mean, if you're sleeping one off in the bathroom, we need to have a chat about your work ethic.
Right.
Maybe they thought she cooked her chicken in NyQuil.
Who knows?
At this point, nothing surprises me.
All right, we are going to talk some fantasy football here for a minute because things have not started out swimmingly for Jeremy in a lot of his leagues. At least that's I'm just repeating what you have told me. The start has not been real good.
I have a lot of shares of Deshaun Watson as my backup quarterback with the intention
for that.
I had a plan.
Okay.
I had a plan.
Okay.
There are a lot of players that I have potentially counted on that maybe have piddled in my punch bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So we figured we would do a segment every Thursday of players that you should be buying because it started poorly, but it's going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Players you should be selling because it's never going to be as good as it is right now. And then players you should be trying to trade.
Okay.
or trade 4. Works both ways.
Who's your biggest buy right now?
The slew of running backs that people seem to be tapping out on, and whether it be Cam Akers, Dalvin Cook. You know what? I'm going to go with that one as my biggest one. Because I've had more people ask me, should I trade Dalvin Cook for 4 cups of Campbell Chunky Soup and a half-consumed bottle of NyQuil?
Are you trading them to me?
I mean, if you're trading them to me, then the answer is yes, you should 100% do that.
Right.
If you're not, don't do that. Don't do that. You cannot, through 2 weeks, go, oh, full Chicken Little and go, oh, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I'm well aware that it has not started well for a slew of players. T. Higgins. That's another one I'm buying. And I'm trying to buy him before this weekend. Because let me give you a little inside baseball on how the New York Jets work. We have one corner that we trust all the ways. And his name is DJ Reed. And he's been very, very good. And he's going to follow Jamar Chase around like a small child that knows you have a pocket full of candy. Which means Sauce Gardner is going to be on T. Higgins. And based off what I saw of him on Amari Cooper, that may or may not go as well as I want it to. He will be a staple of DraftKings lineups for me this week because it started badly. Still a good player. Joe B is trying to do too much. And when things go to hell in a handbasket, who does Joe turn to? The guy he's been with since he was at LSU because he trusts Jamar Chase. So the targets go up. T. Higgins is on the outside being defended by usually a quality outside defender. And so the targets come down. When does that change? When the matchup becomes more advantageous, which is this week.
Fantasy owners who have Cam Akers on their teams. I get it. I am one of these. I have lots of shares of Cam Akers. The first week obviously was not good. I mean, he touched the ball 3 times.
That is less than ideal.
It is less than ideal. But then last week, he got more opportunity.
And it went to a true split.
Yeah. And
he had 27 snaps. Darrell Henderson had 35.
And how long is it until that starts turning into 1, better fantasy outputs, and 2, he starts taking the bulk of those shares?
I have a legitimate fear that Cam Akers is actually not right. I'm afraid they brought him back too early, and I don't know that he's ever going to be right. He looks slow. I mean, as a kid, I followed quite closely in college because he's a Florida State guy. He looks like he's lost a step. Now, am I telling you that can't change? No, I am not. But I can't recommend him as a buy. I did a week ago. And I'm looking at, you're averaging 2.8 yards a carry. Darrell Henderson's in the high 4s. Not that hard to figure that out. But it's the line. He's behind the same line you are. So I have to say I have a legitimate fear of Cam Akers.
But you're still buying.
Not as aggressively as I was. But at this point, his stock's so low that you're getting him for not nothing, but virtually nothing.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the sells and maybe some more buys as well. Could be still some value out there.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 eastbound between exit 3 and exit 4A. Due to an accident, 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow in pockets between Bavard Road and Airport Road. Again, 26 eastbound slows between Hendersonville Road and Chimney Rock Road. 40 westbound light delays between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. Bavard Road southbound near Bent Creek is slow approaching the NC Arboretum. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
Love and Light Wellness Spa, how can I help you today?
Hi there. I'd like to make an appointment for next week.
Excellent. Does Tuesday 9 a.m. work?
Ooh, mornings are when I go to Taco Bell to get my bacon breakfast quesadilla.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't like missing out on those fluffy eggs and crispy bacon covered in melty cheeses.
Oh, I understand. Let's see what I have in the afternoon.
Namaste.
Try the bacon breakfast quesadilla, only at Taco Bell. At limited participating U.S. Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
Be the one.
Brooks is free. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Just give him the daggone football. And it's intercepted. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win. Light that bell tower blue.
The Tar Heels return home to face Notre Dame on Saturday, September 24th. Pre-game coverage starts at 2:30, kickoff at 3:30, right here on your home for Carolina football.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville inside the Ingles studio. And we're talking fantasy buy, sell, trade. What are you doing? Are you giving up after a slow start from some of your guys? Or are the guys that have had slow starts that you're just out there like, this is going to turn around and I think I can get a steal?
J.K. Dobbins is another one that people seem to be trying to eradicate themselves of.
Oh, if you're selling, I'm buying.
I am too, aggressively. And I would do it at the expense of CeeDee Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anything to do with him. I know there are people that are still out there like, oh, he's a legitimate wide receiver one. Mm-hmm. Pay me that way, we're all the way in.
Right.
You give me that value, we're great. If I could get Javonte Williams for CeeDee Lamb right now, I would do it so fast that you would second guess it. I responded that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I know it hasn't been good. I get that. But if you really dig deep, Javonte Williams he's been on the field for 80% of the snaps that Denver's had in the red zone. There just haven't been nearly enough of those. And then there were the fumbles against Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be that way forever. I mean, I know I've been down on Denver. I'm not telling you that they're all of a sudden the Jets. They're just not as good as you thought. Or they're not as good as a lot of people thought.
Right. The CeeDee Lamb is a sell.
You're going to have to explain to me how Dak Prescott, who is without a doubt the most overrated player in the NFL in the last 5 years, and to me it's not even debatable, is going to, with one receiver, and I don't care about Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup's doing the exact same thing. He was great as a 3. He's not a 2.
Mm-hmm.
And if he is a 2, he's a low-end 2. I'm good. I'm good.
Also, after this past week and the amazing fourth quarter that the Miami Dolphins had, Tua Tagovailoa was lights out, throwing to wide-open receivers, just hammering the Baltimore Ravens secondary. You're selling both of the Miami receivers?
I'm selling everything that Miami has. I will say Tua Tagovailoa does not have a game that good all year, and he won't be close. Tyreek Hill will not have a game that good for the rest of the year, and neither will Jalen Waddle. This is the peak that they will ever be. I'm not telling you that you should just eradicate them for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
For what people will give you for them, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, there are people that legitimately think those are 2 of the 10 best receivers in the NFL, and that is comical to me.
Who is a player that you think you could get for either or?
Get for either of them?
Yeah, for either of them.
I have seen enough people that are Seacrest out on Najee Harris that I think I could trade either one of them straight up for Najee, and I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Just wait. When Kenny Pickett becomes the starting quarterback of this team, and he will, and you're actually afraid they might throw a pass that's more than 10 yards down the field, just wait.
Okay.
Najee's still one of the 5 best running backs in the NFL. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Okay. So if I can get him for a deep threat receiver, with a quarterback who I do not really believe in, you're not going to see those 2 just running wide open.
I would.
This is not Madden. I feel like a lot of people fall into this. It's a way of thinking in the NFL of, oh, look, I have these 2 really fast receivers. Here's the problem with that. I can defend that one very simple way. I'm going to send the hellhound your way. And when I do that, your little speed burner receivers are not going to be able to get behind my secondary. Not that hard to figure out. I watched the All-22.
Right.
Baltimore's patent failure was they decided to try to lay back because they didn't think they could get home. All you had to do was send an extra blitzer, and when you did, it worked. Why they didn't figure that out, I don't know.
Yep. Shorten up the game plan. It seemed to work for the Dallas Cowboys around the Cincinnati Bengals.
And 2 that I can't believe I'm about to say out loud. Both big, tall pass catchers for the Atlanta Falcons.
Kyle Pitts and Drake London.
Kyle Pitts has 3 receptions through 2 weeks. I will not be shocked if he does not have another game all year where he does not have 3 or more receptions.
Oh, you're buying.
Oh, I'm buying Kyle Pitts. Right. I'm trading for Kyle Pitts.
And I can't wait to hear this.
No, I'm trading for Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
I'm trading for Drake London. By the way, this is 3 years in a row that I've hit on a USC wide receiver.
Yes.
Because Drake London is every bit as good as I thought he was, if not better. Would you like to hear the list of players that have out-target shared Drake London?
Oh, do tell.
Would you like to hear it again?
Oh, wow.
In terms of target share, he's number 1 in the NFL. So I want them both. And I'm sure there's somebody out there going, well, it's Atlanta. They're bad. That's the point. That's exactly the point. They're bad. They're going to be behind, and they have 2 living, breathing receivers. One of them they have been trying to make an all-around player, and he's been blocking more because he couldn't do that beforehand. And he's been fine. That actually helps him because that means he doesn't have to come off the field and run plays, which means if there is a check down, well, who do you think it's going to go to?
3 weeks into the college football season, who's at the top of the Heisman stock watch? We'll do the daily draft coming up after the Sports Center update here on ESPN Asheville inside the Ingles Studio. And always the Sportsocracy brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The official start to fall, and how about temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler than average tonight here in the Valley. Some of the coolest numbers we've posted so far this season. And talking about some mid-40s here in the Valley, even some low 40s with elevation. Cold front right in sync here with the start of fall, taking us from summer-like readings last couple of days to a true taste of fall here into Friday. Sunshine Friday, high 73, low 50. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 eastbound between exit 3 and exit 4A. Due to an accident, 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow in pockets between Bavard Road and Airport Road. Again, 26 eastbound slows between Hendersonville Road and Chimney Rock Road. 40 westbound light delays between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road near Avery Creek. Bavard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road delays. Bavard Road southbound near Bent Creek is slow approaching the NC Arboretum. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
It's hurricane season. Flood insurance can help you avoid paying out of pocket for costly damage. It's time to trust your instincts, get flood insurance, and protect the life you've built. Visit floodsmart.gov. Sponsored by FEMA.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Celtics head coach Ime Udoka, who led Boston to the NBA Finals in his first season back in June, could be suspended for the upcoming season after violating organizational guidelines. Udoka had a consensual relationship with a female team staff member. Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard is cleared to be on the floor in training camp when it starts next week, but the team will be cautious. Leonard missed all of last season after a torn right ACL. NFL Week 3 kicks off tonight in Cleveland, an NFC North matchup, the Steelers and Browns, both teams 1-1. ESPN's Harry Douglas believes Pittsburgh should make a quarterback change.
I'm pretty sure that some of the guys in that locker room feel the same way about Kenny Pickett. He can be the spark that they need, because from Trubisky, I just don't see it, and I don't think it's going to happen the rest of the year either with Trubisky at the quarterback position.
Harry Douglas on KJ and Max. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Ravens signed pass rusher Jason Pierre-Paul to a one-year deal.
Brought to you by Capital One Auto Navigator, where you can find a car, get pre-qualified instantly, and see your real monthly payment without impacting your credit score. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
If you haven't...
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It is a Thursday, a football Thursday. And we will have all of Jeremy's picks coming up later on in this hour with a special 5 on it, with some college football and NFL tonight.
And it's going to have a little slightly different flair to it.
You got storylines galore in the games tonight, an AFC North battle. You got West Virginia, Virginia Tech.
And that's something I want to talk about.
Okay.
So our loyal listener, Evan Doyle, is a Cincinnati Bengal fan and a Virginia Tech Hokie. I am a New York Jet and a West Virginia Mountaineer. So that just screams some kind of wager.
Torture ticket.
Absolutely. We need to settle this within the hour.
Okay.
Of how are we going to do it? Because I fully believe both my teams are going to lose. So, I mean, if we're doing straight up against the number...
Wiffle ball bet.
I'm not doing that with this.
I did.
I'm not doing that with this. I feel like I am at a gross disadvantage.
You've been trying to push that on me for 2 years now, and just trying to get you pay it off.
That's just because I want to hit you with a wiffle ball bat as hard as I can.
Oh, I know.
And you sanction it so that I don't get arrested for it.
Never going to happen. Never going to happen. All right, so
I believe I will find a way.
House of Reprehensibles, get in on the YouTube stream, thesportsocracy.com. If you're not a member or not subscribed to the channel, help us figure out what the bet's going to be this week.
Also, from our loyal listener, Bo Walker, when is Dobbins coming back? Still here. Love you guys. We love you as well.
Love you too, bud.
I believe J.K. Dobbins will be back this week. I think you're going to slowly see Baltimore get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, you'll see that team that Tank was talking about all offseason.
Harbaugh said Monday that it is still week to week with J.K. Dobbins. And, Dobbins was adamant that he was going to start the season, that he was going to be there ready for game one.
And they're just bringing him along slow.
It's
fine.
Being easy with him.
It's
all
fine.
going to be good. All going to be good. Third hour of the program always kicks off with the daily draft. And after 3 weeks of the college football season, it's time to revisit the Heisman stock watch. We did this at the beginning of the year, and we'll do this at benchmarks throughout the season. But it feels like now's a good time. After we've had 4 weeks of football, you got to count week 0 in there, though not everybody played on week 0.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had 4 weeks of action. Who are the Heisman favorites?
So you get the first pick.
Okay.
And I feel like the first 2 rounds should go really quickly.
Yes. C.J. Stroud.
Okay, I will take Bryce Young and
End of
Caleb
message.
Williams.
Repeat the line.
And I will take Bryce Young and Caleb Williams.
Okay.
And then you're going to come back around and take your 4'7" starting quarterback at Georgia.
Absolutely. The mailman, Stetson Bennett, putting up numbers like Tim Tebow. Let's go.
All right, so that was the first 2 rounds. We did not pre-discuss that either, by the way.
No, we did not.
So when I came up with this topic earlier, I went, all right, so I want to talk about the other guys that have shown themselves because those 4 are really obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say those are the favorites.
Agreed.
Now, so we basically have a 3-round draft here to talk about the guys that have shown up over the course of the year.
Okay.
And you get first pick in that.
My first pick is, the award always goes to a quarterback.
Not always.
Not always.
It does a lot.
It does a lot. We have seen some guys win from various positions. And look, after the quarterbacks that we've already named, I think this is where the position players have to start being mentioned. So my first, I guess, just a bit outside, quote unquote, Heisman Trophy candidate, it's Jordan Addison.
And as well it should be.
Jordan Addison is, he won the Biletnikoff last year at Pittsburgh.
And he's going to win it again this year.
And everybody thought, not everybody thought, but there were people who thought, well, is that because Kenny Pickett's so good? No.
No,
Kenny
it's
Pickett's
because
good.
Jordan Addison's a dude.
Yes, absolutely.
My next mock draft will be out in a couple weeks. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Jordan Addison's going to be in the top 10 and will be ahead of Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Mm-hmm. Addison came out with a 172-yard, 2-touchdown game against Stanford. Scored again last week in the game against Fresno State. And I don't see any signs of Caleb Williams slowing down, the offense of Lincoln Riley slowing down. And Jordan Addison is he's a different kind of cat. He's a different kind of cat. That if you could draft developmental players. I'm in one of these Devy leagues now in fantasy football where you can draft guys from college. They don't hit your roster until the NFL, but you're already drafting guys 2-3 years down the road. Jordan Addison would be a number 1 pick, close to it.
He's very good at football. And the fact that, and I can't remember the kid's name off the top of my head, they had a high-level recruit that is now transferring out of USC. He will redshirt this year and transfer out. That's just all the more targets that come the way of Jordan Addison. I do love that I was the first person I heard say, USC's going to the playoff.
Yep.
And now I think I've heard every person that works at the national level say, well, USC could. Of course they could.
Of course they could.
This was the easiest thing in the history of creation to figure out.
Right. We're in the Pac-12, and in the first month of the season, Caleb Williams has almost thrown for 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. The dude's really good. We knew that at Oklahoma, and now he's gone to USC where, he just got the best wide receiver in the country. Plus he has, 3 transfers that are all 5-star guys?
Very, 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 very good.
Right.
That offense is prolific, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
All right, Jeremy, your next pick.
You said this is where the position player should be coming off.
Yes.
I couldn't disagree with you more if I tried. Because there are 2 guys that have made their presence known, and they're going to get ample opportunity to push teams that I don't think are top 10 talented into that discussion.
Okay.
Which I believe the only way somebody other than the 4 we started with are going to win this is if you take a school we just didn't expect at all to be really nationally relevant and make them really nationally relevant.
Mm-hmm.
My first one's Hendon Hooker from Tennessee. If he comes out and just boat races Florida, which is entirely possible.
You'll hear that pick coming up tomorrow in the Bangers.
You're going to start hearing the noise. He has completely overhauled that offense. That's not I'm not saying they're untalented. That's how it's going to come off when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
He has been so good in this Josh Heupel system, it doesn't really matter who he's throwing to. Brew McCoy didn't work anywhere else. What do he do? Comes to Tennessee, all of a sudden he works. All of a sudden it works. Why? Because the system is fantastic as long as you have that point guy. And he gets all the opportunities. They play Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, and Georgia all over the next 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
If they found a way to come out of that, I'll say even 2-2 with the 2 losses coming to Alabama and Georgia, and they were close. He becomes really hard to say no to. I often say that a quarterback with 2 losses cannot win the Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
He may eschew that trend because Alabama's going to have no less than 3 guys that get a lot of votes,
Mm-hmm.
and Georgia's going to have at least 1,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Stetson Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Ohio State will have 2.
I was going to say, Ohio State will have 2, USC will have 2.
And that's the thing, is if you can find any corner of the market where somebody gets all of the vote, that's when you can get somebody that surprises you.
But I feel like everybody...
Which is what leads me to my next choice.
Okay. I feel like all those other guys are going to get so many votes that those guys are just going to get left out.
And that's fine, because there's one guy that's the best player in his geographic region, and it's not even kind of close. And his name is Michael Penix Jr.
Yep, Michael Penix Jr., no longer at Indiana, the transfer to the Washington Huskies.
And I undervalued Washington. I promise you I won't do it again. That's the only team I think can get in USC's way.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are good enough offensively to hang with them. And I'm not going to say they're great on defense, but they're better than USC is. And he has put up insane numbers through 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's very, 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 very good at football.
Yeah. All right, and I got to put him on the list.
I had to take those 2 because I know you're not going to take the last one I'm taking.
Well, probably not. It's probably somebody from Southwest Poughkeepsie State University.
Nope. Although from a school that's about that relevant in football.
Nice. I got to put him on the list here. It's Will Anderson. Will Anderson, it was a slow start to the season. Obviously, the Texas game was not good.
I think that will keep him from even being relevant in this discussion.
Unless once we hit SEC play, he starts making some big-time plays, it's going to come back around to, okay, that was a one-off. It was hot. It was whatever.
Doesn't matter. As a defensive player, you don't get a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
Think back to the closest we've ever had the only time we've ever had an exclusive defensive player come even close. Who was it?
And Ndamukong too.
It was Manti Te'o. He's the closest that we've ever come to a defensive player winning the Heisman. And he didn't have an off game. He was a force of nature on a team that was not good offensively, that was single-handedly carrying a talented defense.
Was he closer to winning than Sue was?
He was.
Really?
Now, that was in the Manziel year. He was second to Manziel.
Yeah.
I had actually forgotten that until I watched the documentary.
I mean, we have had a defensive player win a Heisman Trophy.
Exclusively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, we've never had one of those, and we never will.
I got you.
The closest we've ever come was Manti Te'o, and he proved you can't have that bad week.
Mm-hmm. I get they were playing ULM. Louisiana Monroe, not the toughest competition, but Will Anderson finally getting off the schneid, getting his first sack of the season, also had an interception return for a touchdown. If he starts making plays like that week in, week out, he has to be on the short list of Heisman candidates. And then it brings me to the one true love of my life that has just blossomed over the last 3 days.
Oh, my.
It's Drake May. It's Drake May. I'm planting the flag.
How did I not
planting
know
the
you were gonna do
flag?
that?
Drake May. Over 1,000 offensive yards, 13 total touchdowns, just one interception for the 3-0 North Carolina Tar Heels. You got Notre Dame and Virginia Tech and Miami coming up next. He keeps performing the way he's performing against those teams. It's going to get really, really loud. He has no shot.
How did I?
But he has as good of a shot of any of the guys that we've mentioned after the first four quarterbacks that we talked about.
How did I not know you were going to do that?
You should have.
And still, that may not be the most insane pick of the 5 that we each get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound absolutely insane.
Okay.
There is a better than zero chance that Kansas wins the Big 12. There is a better than I am going Jalen Daniels.
Wow.
There is a better than zero chance that Kansas wins the Big 12. I think we undervalue how much of a dude Lance Leipold is.
Yikes.
They housed Houston.
Look, that's being spicy.
I don't really buy anybody in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to if you're going to do something like this, you've got to be a little spicy because you're going to have to find somebody that wins the conference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have to end up in the playoff, but you have to threaten it. I don't see anybody doing that in the ACC. And Clemson doesn't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State doesn't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
NC State doesn't have anybody. You're not going to do it in the SEC because you got Alabama and Georgia in your way. And you're not going to do it in the Big Ten because you got Ohio State and Michigan in your way.
Mm-hmm.
I consider J.J. McCarthy, but the sheer fact that you will have not started one of the two, still think it's stupid. Kansas plays Duke this week.
Uh-huh.
It's a vastly improved Duke team. The defense is way better under Mike Elko.
Mm-hmm.
If they come out and house Duke, I think they're better than Iowa State. I think they're better than TCU. They're better than Texas Tech. They're better than Kansas. You would have to go to Oklahoma and Baylor. You get Oklahoma State and Texas at home. You go 11-1 and win the Big 12, he'll be there. You mark my words,
he'll
be
get
there.
an invite?
You mark my words, he'll be there. Because this could be really close. This could be one where we see 5 guys get to New York for the presentation because it's that close.
Mm-hmm.
And he is really, really good, and he's going to put up gaudy numbers because he's such a dual threat.
Interesting.
I know it's spicy.
It is. It is.
Sounds
very spicy.
insane. But I believe in Kansas. I believe in Lance Leipold.
All right.
No, he's not taking the Nebraska job. Please stop asking him that. Why in the world would you go to Lawrence, Kansas for your big break to be in Nebraska? Kansas, a more attractive job right now than Nebraska, but that's neither here nor there.
Do you have a UDFA, undrafted free agent?
I surely can. Oh, yeah, I know exactly. Go ahead. I'll let you go because I know you're not taking my guy.
Oh God, here it comes. Here comes one even dumber. I think. I'm going Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, if we had done 50 picks here, I don't think I would have gotten to that.
Really? With Jackson Smith and Jigba banged up,
he's banged up, but he's coming back.
He stepped up and been the one.
I get it. He's a receiver that may or may not be the one on his own team. Yeah,
if he winds up with the eye-popping numbers, it's not really going to matter.
I'm going to take another guy that has a slew of opportunities. I can't tell you that he's going to live up to it, but there's not a lot that have the chance.
Mm-hmm.
KJ Jefferson. Starts this week. You come out and light up Texas A&M, and I very much believe he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
That talk will get louder in a hurry. I know it was close with Missouri State. I'm well aware that it's a mixture of things. It meant way more to Missouri State and their players, and you overlooked them. Didn't stop KJ Jefferson from being good. The defense was horrid. If they come out and beat Texas A&M, you'll start hearing that name way more.
Almost 1,000 yards already, 9 touchdowns, and maybe so. You do that, again, like you said, you do it against SEC competition, and people start paying attention. Same thing with Hendon Hooker. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. College football begins tonight. Rest of this hour, all college football, plus the bangers, plus Jeremy's going to lose his mind at the end of the program. Stick with us.
On the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. 240 eastbound light delays between Tunnel Road and exit 8. 26 westbound slows between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between the French Broad River and Bavard Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, near the NC Arboretum, Bavard Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Clayton Road. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Liberty. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for our grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair!
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
It's ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just subscribe to the channel. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe, get into the chat. Also get the alerts every time we go live. You want to absolutely have those alerts set so you don't miss wonderful things like the Mullet Man and the Canadan, Mullet and the Dude.
There's a lot of mullet on this channel.
There is a lot of mullet on this channel. There's way too much mullet on you, and I guess we're just going to have to deal with it from now on.
100%.
Jeez.
Hey, it's tucked away today. We put it up.
And, of course, the Fantasy Game Time Decision show on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Full 2 hours of answering nothing but your questions and giving you prognostications for the fantasy day. College football begins tonight, and, Jeremy's really looking forward to it because...
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong.
I am afraid that this is not going to go our way.
It's not going to go your way. West Virginia is on the road at Blacksburg tonight to take on Virginia Tech. And what is the deal? What is the deal with West Virginia and the offense?
Neil Brown's bad at football. He should not be a high-level high school coach, let alone the head coach of my West Virginia Mountaineers. But we are a 2.5-point favorite, which tells me that Vegas thinks we're going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I agree with him. You'll just have to hang around for the end of this hour.
Okay. 2.5-point favorite on the road at Virginia Tech.
I saw that number and audibly laughed out loud.
As you should.
I did. I audibly laughed out loud.
Lane Stadium is one of the coolest places in college football. It gets crazy when that what is the song? Is it Inner Sandman that they do? Yeah. Oh. It's just that there are very few. I mean, college football has a lot of them.
Hey,
but there are very few in the class of Lane Stadium rocking on a primetime game.
And you've got a sleeper tonight on ESPN2, Coastal Carolina at Georgia State. It's a fun little switch back and forth. Yes, I know Georgia State's 0-3. Yes, I know Coastal Carolina's 3-0. Two of the losses for Georgia State are to North Carolina and South Carolina, and they could have won both.
Mm-hmm. Coastal Carolina, meanwhile, does still have Grayson McCall, but that's not the offensive juggernaut that it was when Javon Hiley and Isaiah Likely were on this team. That could be upset city. I think people come in and not doing any research on, Sun Belt football, or not much research, go, oh, it's Coastal Carolina. They'll boat race them. Will they, though? Then there's also a brewing upset, in my opinion. It's the Chattanooga Moccasins going up against Illinois. Let's go.
When that game ends up 52-7,
let's have some SoCon celebrations. We had the Sun Belt had their week last week. Let's have the SoCon week.
Tank's got Chattanooga plus 21. Just
100%.
Something I want on record.
100%. Chattanooga plus the 21.
But those are not the games that we really want to talk about. There are a slew of college football games this weekend that are going to go a long way to deciding some pretty high-level things in college football.
All right, well, we got two top 25 matchups in the SEC. We'll save the headliner. Let's talk real quick about that Texas A&M matchup with Arkansas.
I feel like Texas A&M, somehow that one loss feels like it counted for 5. You did rally and beat a good Miami team at home.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what could burn A&M is that this game is not at A&M. This is a neutral field game. It's in Dallas, and Arkansas is going to travel quite nicely. At the end of the day, Arkansas is going to move the ball. The question is Texas A&M? And I don't know the answer to that because they have been as mundane to bad offensively as you will ever see a top 25 college football team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've been Iowa bad offensively. There's not even anybody that challenges you deep. And I'm afraid you get into a track meet there, and you don't have the horses for that.
And it's KJ Jefferson time.
I like him a lot this week.
And then, of course, the other one in the SEC, Tennessee and Florida. You got Hendon Hooker going up against Anthony Richardson, who it has not gone well for Anthony Richardson.
No, he really enjoyed the game against Utah,
and
then
I bought in early on. Man, Florida might be something.
They're not.
The last couple of weeks has been like, wait a minute, where did the pop from week 1 go?
They could be 1-2 and their only win over a top 15 team because they should have lost South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
If South Florida could throw the ball, they would have lost. They got outplayed for 4 quarters at home.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for me to believe that you're going to go in to Knoxville and beat that team because Neyland Stadium will be as loud Saturday as it has been in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was looking before the show.
Probably since the national championship year.
The secondary ticket market, there are obscured view seats selling for $500 a piece.
Wow.
That place is going to be insane.
And they will pay it.
No doubt.
And they will bring all their mustard bottles.
No doubt. The question is Tennessee ready for a game like this? Because this is the easy one. You've got a slew of them that are not going to be easy. Florida's overranked, Florida's overrated, and they should not be able to contend with you. The question is, will they?
Mm-hmm. In the ACC, Clemson takes on Wake Forest. Clemson's had struggles on offense.
That's a really nice way to say they have been horrible through the air.
Well, I'm you know me. I like to couch things as much as possible. Can DJ Uiagalelei and the rest of the offense figure it out and start scoring points? You better. You better against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Now the Deacons offense or the Deacons defense is not great. So you've got a chance. You should be able to put up big points and move the ball at will against this team.
And after the commercial break, I'm going to tell you why that might be the most insane thing I've heard you say in a long time.
Really?
You're not seeing this matchup the same way I am.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The official start to fall, and how about temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler than average tonight here in the Valley. Some of the coolest numbers we've posted so far this season, and talking about some mid-40s here in the Valley, even some low 40s with elevation. Cold front right in sync here with the start of fall, taking us from summer-like readings last couple of days to a true taste of fall here into Friday. Sunshine Friday, high 73, low 50. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. 240 eastbound light delays between Tunnel Road and exit 8. 26 westbound slows between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between the French Broad River and Bavard Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, near the NC Arboretum, Bavard Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Clayton Road. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by FEMA and the National Flood Insurance Program. It's hurricane season. Flood insurance can help you avoid paying out of pocket for costly damage. It's time to trust your instincts, get flood insurance, and protect the life you've built. Visit floodsmart.gov. Sponsored by FEMA.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Love and Light Wellness Spa, how can I help you today?
Hi there. I'd like to make an appointment for next week.
Excellent. Does Tuesday 9 a.m. work?
Ooh, mornings are when I go to Taco Bell to get my bacon breakfast quesadilla.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't like missing out on those fluffy eggs and crispy bacon covered in melty cheeses.
Oh, I understand. Let's see what I have in the afternoon.
Namaste.
Try the bacon breakfast quesadilla, only at Taco Bell. At limited participating U.S. Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Yeah, no, we didn't forget in all the football talk. The most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do them. Just never a good thing. But thank God there are dumb people out there doing crimes, so we can bring you the funny stories of the day. This one comes to me from down in Atlanta. There's a guy who lives in Midtown Atlanta. Lives right on Peachtree Street. Which Peachtree Street? You know that one. The 471st Peachtree Street that's down there. He lives on West Peachtree at 14th Street in the Icon Atlanta. Big high-rise down there. And he got arrested. And the reason he got arrested is because his neighbors got a little angry at one of his things that he has turned into a ritual now. Because apparently this guy thinks no one can see him, despite the fact that he's surrounded by other high-rises that look directly into his windows. This guy, he got arrested because complaining started that there was some showering action happening down on the street below from his apartment. Apparently, one of his favorite pastimes is to go outside naked on his balcony and relieve himself onto the street below.
Don't do that.
To the point where neighbors say that when they walk their dogs on the sidewalk, they take umbrellas with them because you never know when this guy is going to let loose.
I would do crimes if I was on the ground below.
He of course has been arrested and is being charged with, all of the crimes that you would be charged with in that instance, public nudity and things like that. When he was arrested, though, he told the cops, "I'm famous. I'm on TV, bruh. I didn't do this." Apparently, this guy is an Instagram guy.
Influencer
who has over 1 million followers and goes by the name of Shawty Dread.
And that does not preclude you from doing crimes.
No, it doesn't at all. He swears he didn't do it, but apparently there is cell phone footage showing Shawty Dread going out on his balcony and relieving himself onto the passersby below. This, again, will not stand.
He did crimes.
He did.
Sarah Victoria, she's 46, of San Pedro, California. She also did crimes. She owned 3 wellness clinics in the California area. And apparently her wellness clinics, which offered chiropractic services and other physical therapy needs, was a very common place to go for dock workers at the Port of Long Beach. To the point of they were actually put in network for their insurance. Well, she and 8 defendants, including 7 dock workers, have been arrested because they filed $2.1 million in fraudulent claims to the labor union of their health insurance plan. Now you ask, was she not licensed to do chiropractic things? Yes. Yes, she was. Was she not licensed to do acupuncture? Yes. Yes, she was. It was not the services that she was telling them she was providing that was the problem. It was the fact that there was another service that her entities were providing and was being billed as chiropractic and acupuncture treatments. It was an escort service. Oh. And she was billing their insurance.
Oh, wow.
It is one thing to do crimes. It is another to try to defraud an insurance company to pay for your things.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many words I wanted to say right there, and none of them were okay.
Happy endings.
That takes a set of stones. Here's the bill. We're send it to the insurance company. We'll all be fine.
Just trying to improve the morale.
I had to go to Miss Victoria's place and get myself right.
Right.
Did you get your back aligned? Nope. Acupuncture? No. Does stuff. Doing stuff and things.
Wow.
They have been arrested, and she is being detained on federal bond, which is excessive. Don't look for her to be able to make that bail.
Yep. Two words come to mind, and they were made famous by the great Mankind of WWE fame. That's testicular fortitude, my friends. College football this weekend. It's going to give us some top 25 matchups. We've already talked about the two in the SEC. Now we've got a showdown between Wake Forest and Clemson. Dave Clawson and the Demon Deacons try to do something that he's never been able to do, and that's beat the Clemson Tigers. 0-8 so far.
With the Claw PO.
13 times in a row, Clemson's come out on top. Why would this be any different?
Wake Forest defense is not great, but it is opportunistic. And I feel like people are using a very close game against Liberty against Wake Forest. That's the reason that they're a 7-point dog at home.
Yeah.
Liberty has a better quarterback than Clemson does. DJ Uiagalelei scares no one. And I have yet to see Brandon Streeter go, I'm going to commit to the run game. That's how they beat him a year ago. They rushed for, I want to say it was 333 yards when they played this game last year. I've seen nothing from him that says he's going to commit to that, in spite of the fact he should have. And before you say, well, but they haven't played a team that's this bad against the run. Georgia Tech's on line one, and yeah, I've actually already seen this. And what did they do? For a full half, they dropped back and let DJ Uiagalelei throw it 19 times. In spite of the fact they physically outmatched them, it didn't matter. None of that mattered. And I don't feel like it's going to matter here. And for whatever reason, they're not going to Cade Klubnik. And maybe I'm being biased looking at this of how I would call this. I'm going 8 in the box. All right, you want to beat me with Will Shipley? You don't have a whole lot of outside weapons that I'm really scared of. There's no doubt that's a guy that I have to double or anything like that. Great. DJ, you beat me. You're not going to run for 3 bills on me again. And everybody talks about that defense, and that defense is incredibly talented. That defense has also had some serious mental lapses. If you watch them really closely, they've been close at the half in every game they played. Louisiana Tech was right there. And this is a much more difficult offense to game plan for. If you don't know what we're talking about, they run, it's the RPO. But Sam Hartman will hold it uncomfortably long and then just pick you apart down the field. And I'm not sure Clemson's ready for this. If this turns into a shootout, you cannot hang with them.
Agreed. But I don't know that it can turn into a shootout. That is the best defensive front in college football. Agreed?
It's close, but yes.
It's close. They are going to be able to get pressure like nobody has against Wake Forest.
That's fine.
You pressure Sam Hartman into throwing the ball, not being able to wait until the play breaks down to have your successful breakaway, then that's going to limit the opportunity. I'm not saying they're going to shut him down or shut him out or anything like that. It's not going to happen. Wake Forest is going to score points, but are they able to put up 30 to 40 points on this Clemson defense? I find that hard to believe.
If Brent Venables was here, I would be much more nervous about that. He's not, and I'm not. I'm not. This is a different task. And there's been a lot of gnashing of teeth that Sam Hartman was not particularly crisp in his first game against Liberty. Well, he had blood clots, and he hadn't practiced in almost a month. He has now. And I'm telling you, this is a trap spot to the highest extreme. I'm not going to tell you Wake Forest wins. This game's going to be close. And I think it's going to bear out some real problems with Clemson. Louisiana Tech, person to person, just cannot contend with you.
No.
So you're going to wear them down. Wake Forest does not have that problem. They do not have that problem. And Sam Hartman is one of the best quarterbacks in this country. And I have a funny feeling they have something planned for Clemson. They have talked about this game all offseason long because it's at Truist Field, at their place. And I think it's going to be close.
Okay. All right. We shall see. I don't know that Clemson can hang with them offensively. If they're not able to get the pressure and somehow Sam is still able to show off the arm, I don't like Clemson's chances of winning a shootout game. But I think it comes down to the defense being able to limit them from scoring points that will give them a chance. Because eventually I feel like he's got to figure it out. Eventually Dabo has to look and go, oh, God, we're in trouble. It's time to go to the freshman.
I just want you to think about what I'm going to say. The over-under in Maryland, Michigan, two teams that are going to score on each other at will, is 64.5. Clemson, Wake Forest, 55.5. Yes, that's a 9-point difference. That gets a lot weirder when you look at Clemson and go, man, that defense is really good for an over-under to be that high. Conversely, Baylor against Iowa State, 45.5. That's a defensive shootout. Vegas is telling you there will be points scored here. And if there are points scored here, I like Wake Forest.
I would tend to agree with you on that side. Oregon takes on Washington State. And Washington State is like this little upstart that I don't think too many people were paying attention to. But Cameron Ward is a dude. And is this another game where Bo Nix goes on the road and duty's in his pants, and now we're talking about Oregon State no longer being in the top 25, and Washington State at a healthy 4-0 pops right onto the national scale?
I told you Monday to never trust Kirk Cousins in primetime.
Yes.
Bo Nix has been worse on the road than Kirk Cousins in primetime. To me, this is not even hard. This is not even a difficult prognostication. Yes, Oregon has better talent. I think Washington State's better coached. And I get the better quarterback. So I get the better coach and the better quarterback, and I'm at home. I wonder which side I'm going to go on, and I wonder if that game is in bangers tomorrow.
Probably so. Probably so. Texas.
Do you see an upset? Do you see one of those upsets that you just we come in Monday and go, what in the world?
I don't think so.
If Maryland, Michigan wasn't at the big house, I would feel way better about Maryland.
Yeah, I look at the slate and I go, upsets? Not really. I mean, those games in the top 25, I mean, obviously it would be an upset if Texas A&M beat Arkansas in Jerry's house.
Not really.
But I don't know that I see any that are real possible. I mean, Wisconsin gets a shot at Ohio State. Is there any chance that Wisconsin can hang with them offensively?
No, good Lord, no.
No.
No, the fact that look, I'm not giving that game tomorrow, so I'll just go ahead and tell you. Ohio State will be covering that number at the end of the first quarter. And they will not look back.
Oregon State and USC. You said there are people that are on Oregon State to pull the upset here, and I don't even kind of understand where they can.
It's because they're at home and because they're – people fall into this trap that because we in the mainstream media do not talk about them, that doesn't mean Vegas is not giving them their flowers. The fact that USC is only a 6-point favorite is dumb. They're good, and they're vastly improved. They cannot contend with what they're getting ready to deal with. I'll tell you another one that's free money. Utah, minus 15.5. At Arizona State. You could have made that minus 45.5, and I'm still not sure that I wouldn't lay it.
They're not getting the coach bump? They're not getting the obligatory Nebraska coach bump after they just fired their coach?
Well, when half of the staff is who outed Herman Edwards, I'm going to say no. When the coach gets fired on the field, that's a bad sign. That's just a program in disarray. And I don't buy it. I don't buy it in the least. I don't care where this game is. This is going to look like a UCLA game where you look around and go, man, there's 48 people here. and a team that is that much more talented than they are, they have nothing left. There's no talent.
Mm-hmm.
They lost both of their top wide receivers. One went to Florida State. I can't remember where the other one went. Quarterback went to LSU. Top 2 running backs transferred out. They're giving them the bump in the number that it's just 15.5. Cameron Rising may have 500 total yards in this game.
As far as upsets go, I can't predict any big ones. Nothing really pops off the page at me, but there is one game. What is it?
I guess we'll just have to listen for real bangers tomorrow.
Okay.
And if you've been listening to the show for the entire college football season, just understand that in my true dog, I'm 2-1, and my one loss was the fighting Mike Houstons, who gave NC State everything they could handle.
Well, we got action tonight, and it is time to put 5 on it, Jeremy Greene.
We said, we just can't throw out. We can't throw out 2 bangers in a row. That is too many bangers. So we had to come up with a shtick for this. So we asked our old buddy, if you've been around for long enough, you've heard this before. We asked our old buddy Lou Holtz what he thought about the slate tonight. And so here is his 5 on it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a 4-point dog tonight at home on the road against the Cleveland Browns, and that's just too many points. I believe in Mike Tomlin. I believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm taking Pittsburgh plus the 4 under the 38.5. Virginia Tech and West Virginia, that game's in Blacksburg. Inner Sandman's good enough for me, and that is, I take the Virginia Tech Hokies plus the 2.5. And finally, the Coastal Carolina Sandticklers are a 2.5-point favorite against Georgia State, and that's not enough. I understand Georgia State has been good. There's been good things happen there. Coastal Carolina, minus 2.5.
And you can take all those
That's
wagers.
hard to do without breathing.
Yeah. Take all those wagers over to betus.com. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY. Get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. So you got the Steelers plus the 4.
Under the 38.5. It's a weather game.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this earlier. It's a weather game. This may be first 1 to 10 wins.
Virginia Tech and the points at home against West Virginia. And
I can't believe that any team that's quarterbacked by JT Daniels is going to go into Lane Stadium and beat them. I don't care about Old Dominion. They've recovered nicely after that opening week disaster. And it's West Virginia with Neil Brown.
And then take Coastal Carolina to cover against Georgia State.
Coastal Carolina has been – that number has come down. I don't remember what it debuted at, but it's come down because Georgia State played good defense, and there's this misnomer that this team is good defensively. They're not. They are not. I think it will be entertaining. You're not in the ballpark of them offensively. So, Coastal Carolina, and I didn't think about it that hard.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, he's mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between Bavard Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. Hendersonville Road southbound is stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Mills Gap Road due to an accident. Center lanes are closed. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Mills Gap Road also stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sand Hill Road to Pond Road is slow. Smoky Park Highway southbound approaching Sand Hill Road.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Better sleep gives you the energy you need to spend more time doing the things you love. Your sleep equipment helps you manage your sleep disorder and live a more active life, but it only works if you use it. Sleep equipment manufacturers recommend daily cleaning, and SoClean is a helpful complement to your daily routine. Join over 2 million SoClean customers enjoying peace of mind. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Find out more at SoClean.com. Always follow the manufacturer's instruction. Prepayment required for risk-free trial. For contraindications and details, visit SoClean.com.
Hey folks, DG here. Y'all know I've always loved the slogan, Smiles Change Lives, which I first heard years ago from Dr. Rebecca Merrill of Asheville Smiles. I hope you will live that slogan here in 2022. Whether it's just time for a routine cleaning, you want to learn more about Invisalign, a great alternative to braces, you need a diagnosis and treatment plan, or if you don't have dental insurance, you just want to learn more about her special membership plans. 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Dirty Perky Shark back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
So let me get this straight. An institution in the Boston Celtics that has been widely known to allow their fans to commit subtle racism, Kyrie Irving's words, not mine, on players, is all of a sudden the morality police. You have a completely unexpected, in my opinion, season with a rookie head coach in Ime Udoka that leads you to the finals. You have a great young roster, and this is the season that you're retiring Bill Russell's number forever. You've got the 6 in the paint and all of the things. So all of this sets up for a great season. And now you're going to suspend your coach for a year because he had a relationship with a woman in the front office. It was consensual. You have never denied that. And to the best of I can tell, there are no extrapolating circumstances here. So now, you that has widely been a very difficult free agent destination because of how you treat your players and how you allow your fans to treat your players are going to suspend a coach because of his personal life. I don't know when we started doing this. Of everything that happens in your personal life is our business. I hate to break it to you. Just because you buy tickets, just because you put on Greene merchandise, does not mean Ime Udoka's personal life is any of your damn business. And Boston Celtics, just because you employ him, I feel the same way about you. NBA, you make it real easy to hate you, and this is just another reason why I'm mad.
In the last year, I've gone through a big change in my life. 90 pounds, more than 90 pounds is where I sit on the weight loss from the PhD weight loss program. You can check them out at myphdweightloss.com. I feel so much better than I did when I was pushing 300 pounds, and now I'm sitting at almost 200.
This time last year, I had gotten up to almost the heaviest I have ever been. I am 6'5", and I had gotten to almost 320 pounds, which for me, yeah, I'm tall, but that's way too heavy. It was leading to knee aches. My back hurt. I wasn't sleeping well. And that's when I turned to PhD. Just 9 months into this program, I'm back down in the 240s, back to my high school weight, sleeping like a baby, and it's all thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
PhD, I believe, has helped me solve my weight problem for good. I mean, the evidence is there. So many people have used the program to get right in their adulthood. I've never been in better shape. And it's all because of PhD. Go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss is the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Jeremy and I return tomorrow. It'll be a football Friday. Beat the Chief. Share if you want to. We'll have all the bangers as well.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
The official start to fall, and how about temperatures a good 10 degrees cooler than average tonight here in the Valley. Some of the coolest numbers we've posted so far this season, and talking about some mid-40s here in the Valley, even some low 40s with elevation. Cold front right in sync here with the start of fall, taking us from summer-like readings last couple of days to a true taste of fall here into Friday. Sunshine Friday, high 73, low 50. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small businesses create bold signs to make big impressions. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 10/1. Visit staples.com/thisisyoursign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for a grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.